Hello and welcome to the Spring Season Finals 2013. This will be Group Stage B. I'm your caster for today. I'm Ted Tibus, and joining me is once again,
Camouflage.
you seem unhappy.
No, it's just really early in the morning.
Early morning. So, apologize, we did start a bit late because we had some miscommunications with the team. I blame James Sudo, who's not here right now
We always blame James Sudo whenever there's a problem.
with the tournaments,
Yeah.
yes. So, anything, please go to his Facebook fan page right now, spare him to say why did the
Okay,
stream start
don't
late.
do that. Don't do that. Just blame him in your heart. That will do.
So anyway, as you saw the schedule earlier, the first game for today they will be casting will be Team Secret against Team Nothing to Lose.
Yep.
So Team Secret was the first place from the King of the Hill North region, and for the side of Nothing to Lose, they were second place during the rookie finals.
So nothing to lose. Just got in by the skin of their teeth. Just at the last second there.
Yes, they almost got disqualified because they were late. But so those were the spin. I'm just joking. But
That's
it's
another
fine.
day. That's another story for another day.
Yes, that's sorry for another day.
We
So
will be ready to.
So we'll be ready to start the match very quickly. So on the side of the other team that are playing right now will be Team Forever Alone and the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. They're playing the second game, but we'll not be streaming that game for today.
But
So
don't-
right now, don't worry about that.
We will actually bring you live updates from that game when it actually finished. But we'll just jump into Champions Select right now.
Yes, for the bans and picks. So this is going to be an exciting game. So to my knowledge, in the past, Team Secret and Nothing to Lose has been screamed a lot in the past before. And coming today, for the side of Nothing to Lose, they also have a slight change in the members. They're using a sub member because one of their members, the actual jungler, is actually on a holiday trip to Japan. So
What?
well, you can't change that.
What a time to go to Japan, huh?
Yes, so
We're just waiting for you to get the visual on the Champions Select. Our producer having a
Again,
little
I-
bit of technical difficulties there.
yes, it's okay. Again, I blame James Steele to not being here. So we had to hire some. I had to give someone a crash course to use everything. So
And
it's
there
going to be
you
a bit
go.
slow, but here it is. So we're moving in. You can see the first ban is going to be Shen. So it's going to be a very typical ban in terms of you're not so sure what both teams are going to use. You just remove champions, don't want to see. Yesterday, we did see a lot of great Shen play though coming from the team Broski on Sand Slayer.
That Slayer was really scary on Shen. He showed that how powerful Shen can be played. He was literally duoing with everybody on the team and nobody could bring him down. They had to send 4 people on the top lanes just to stop him.
So going on with the bans, we see though, Sejuani hasn't been picked up as much. Maybe I think WCWS has been using quite a bit. What do you think about that? Because we
Sejuani's-
haven't seen Sejuani as most likely a targeted ban, or people just don't deal with it.
I think NTR is running something as an AoE comp, and Sejuani is really good to counter that because the AoE disengage from her ultimate can just break the whole AoE team composition from if Nothing to Lose plans to run that.
Yes. So here we moving on. It's going to be very standard bans for the side of Team Secret though. Shen, Elise, Twisted Fate, just champions you don't see overall. 2 global champions and 1 lane bully. But for the side of Nothing to Lose, it's going to be, as you mentioned, 3 very strong initiate and counter initiating champions. So Johnny with a strong CC. Even Dinah is a great initiating champion. It's very hard to deal with. And Jarvan as well. Jarvan with the Martian standard Dragon Strike into Cataclysm is like so troublesome to deal with, especially if you're going to use AD carries like Misfortune and Rarus.
WCWS actually picking up his Volibear first. He's actually known for his Volibear very well. And wow, Gloria actually got his Lee Sin. For those that you don't know, Gloria is actually really famous with his Lee Sin. And it's constantly banned out against him. And for today, he actually gets to use it in the first day. On
Yes.
the first match, I mean.
So it's going to be exciting because later on when you see the interview videos by Nothing to Lose, Gloria says, if I get my Lee Sin, it's a sure win. So we will see whether it will be a sure win for the side of Nothing to Lose. And very rarely though, YSCP used to play a lot of Caitlyn in the past, but he's going to play for today as well. So hopefully it works out well for him. During the other tournaments, we see him use more of Rarus and Misfortune in the rookie finals, if I'm
And
not
also
wrong.
some Grace, his fit. He likes his Misfortune the best, I think, for his AD carry. But you can see for Secret, they're going for a poke composition with Ezreal and Lulu.
We shall see though whether it's going to be blue Ezreal or is it going to be a normal, I would say red mix Ezreal, I suppose. It's a bloodthirster.
Colorful
That's how
Ezreal.
a colorful Ezreal, that's how I've been naming it. There's right now the blue Ezreal is very great for his poke, so we had to see though whether the Jace will be picked up for the South Tofu Alex.
It might be Nidalee and Jace for the last 2 picks. Tofu X is also really known for his Nidalee top lane. He's really well.
He plays it more as a bruiser than like AP top. Like we did see yesterday coming up from Pax Jalex. He played
Oh,
the Nidalee top. It was AP, and he only had one death, I think. He got a Magi, almost 20 stacks
oh.
at the end of the game. It was
He,
against Broski,
yeah.
I believe.
He only had 19 stacks. No, not 20 stacks. You cannot get that information wrong.
It was almost fully stacked there, and it was a great game played because those spears just chunked people down and forced people to fall back, which gave a lot of advantages towards uh, Paradox Gaming yesterday. So here we might see Sona being picked up. So it's gonna be a poke versus poke. And one thing to note though, I believe they mentioned before during the All Star games that they picked Caitlyn. And I'm picking Ezreal as I'm counter picking myself during the game against the Korean LCS team.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, Korean team,
Korean,
Korean Ocean All Stars. Yeah, so I wonder how well it's going to work out for the start of A-Kun. Maybe, well, Lulu does provide much more survivability and poke together, as you mentioned, with the shield and the glitter lance. So hopefully it will work out well for him. So it's going to be a poke on poke, I suppose.
No, I'm gonna think he has the poke and AoE sort of hybrid kind of team comp because Canon you do have the ultimate to just stun everybody, and also with Sona, her crescendo is a great CC there.
Yes.
One thing to know here, why I think NTL actually picked Caitlyn out is because that Akun's main AD carry is Caitlyn, so they're forcing Akun to use something out of his comfort zone a little bit to make him just not so comfortable.
That could be true. Definitely. Oh wow, so Tofu Alex might be running Rise top, which is currently, in a sense, something we have seen a lot in the Korea OGN,
Yeah.
and we might see today.
We saw shy crushed faces during the All Stars. Everyone was just so surprised that he picked Rice top, and they just didn't know how to do it. But there you go, my predictions comes true. It will be an.
Oh nope,
Oh.
not so soon. Hasn't been locked in yet. Still deciding what it's going to be. And
Looks like it's gonna be a Rice. No Cho. Come on, Tofu Alex.
play Rise.
It's gonna be a
And-
Cho'Gath.
Nope, it's going to be a Cho'Gath and the Oriana locked in. So great engage as well as great CC coming up on the side of Team Secret with the addition of the poke.
But one thing I think Team Secret is lacking in their team lineup is a gap closer. They don't have anything to straight away just go in front. If Nothing to Lose pick something like an Anivia for their mid laner, they can just counter out the whole conversation right now.
That could be true. So, but well, we do see the flashes though. Flash rolling thunder, rolling bear is nothing to be trifled with. It's like in your face, flip you back at GG. So
But yeah, Gragas also with his explosive cast can be a really good disengager. When anybody just goes in, you can just use your ultimate and everyone just gets knocked back.
yes, and it's also I have to say it was one of Ozora Becky's favorite pick from Broski, and he did great yesterday on Gragas. I would
He
have to
did
say.
phenomenal yesterday. He was one of
Yes.
the main reasons why Broski actually qualified for the tournament.
So this for the last pick, Gragas would be a great pick as you mentioned, but with the timings though of we working with Crescendo
Yeah.
and the slicing Millstorm, it's going to be hopefully it will be well played, so to speak.
Well executed.
Or well executed, yes, that would be a better word to use. So we will see whether how this will work for both teams. So for the side of Secret, they have the two tank key champions, but they do decent overall damage. The Cho'Gath and Warrior Bear combination. But on the side of Nothing to Lose though, they're going for more
Pokey comp. They want to
pokey and disengage, re-engage composition because as you mentioned, if you do charge in, if the timing is wrong for the command shockwave, if the Lee Sin lands the Dragon Rage kick first, kicks the person away with the ball, that ultimate is gonna miss and it's gonna be fatal for the side of Team Secret. So this is going to be interesting plays, and how will we be able to see fabulous plays? Yesterday for 4 mods game for Desu, he was able to get Lee Sin and the plays were phenomenal.
to see that Fodesu was really comfortable in his Lee Sin. But one thing I'm going to call out here is that I think Nothing to Lose will go for a 2v1 lane swap. They picked up a Cho'Gath because of his sustain, and they do not want Ezreal and Lulu to go up against Sona and Caitlyn. As you said, Ezreal against Caitlyn, he's counter picking himself into it. So he doesn't want to face a 2v2, and they might just go for a 2v1 lane swap.
Or for the side of Team
Yeah,
Secret.
on the side of Team Secret.
Yes. That could be possible, but both would fare quite well though in the 2v1 lanes. Cannon, even though he loses the tower very quickly, so to speak, but he will be able to farm up much safer though in comparison to Cho'Gath. So we will have to see how well this plays off. Because if you go for the lane swap, Caitlyn and Sona is a great pick. They poke down and chip down towers very quickly, but they lack the overall crowd control to stay in the lane too long. If they do make a misstep, if Cho'Gath comes in, the Rupture lands the correct time, the Rolling Thunder just comes in and flips the AD carry on the spot backwards, it's going to be over.
Yep. Anyway, let's just take a look into the runes of one of these champions. So, Teddy, which one do you want to see?
Okay, we're going to go take a look at the ruins and masteries, but we're going to go it slowly. Okay, which is your pick, so to speak? I am quite interested though in looking at Volibear because a lot of people has different play style for Volibear in the
Yep.
jungle.
Some people go for the movement speed, some people go for the attack speed.
And some people go for the extra armor penetration or physical damage. And here we're gonna have a mix of everything, which is something I've seen a lot of junglers do right now. They go for a bit of armor penetration, the physical damage stacking up, but we do see the 1% critical chance being picked up, which is quite rare.
Maybe he'll get lucky. Who knows, right?
Yes, who will know about that? But for the start of the yeah, it was always armors for the jungler, for the yellows.
What do you
definitely.
expect other than that?
Nothing.
Health.
Maybe health level. But here it's gonna be, instead of going for the 5 flat magic resist, to get 6.7 magic resist, which is a norm. We actually have 5.4 magic resist and 30 magic resist at level 18. So I'm not sure how well this is gonna work out. Most people get the 6.7 magic resist. To my knowledge, so it becomes 7 magic resist
rounds
after the
off.
game. It rounds off, and then for the 8 armor magic pen that the opponent will get, you're going to negate most of it in the early stages.
One thing to note here is that for his quintessences, he went for attack damage instead of movement speed. So for his Rolling Thunder, he won't be as fast as possible.
And there's also the slight nerf of how. Wait, is a nerf of 30% or when he chases the champion only? It used to be 45%, I remember. I used to play quite a lot of Volibear, and now it's been reduced to 35%, if I'm not wrong.
I'm not sure about that
Or
because
it scales up per level. I need to check a bit on that. We'll get back to you on that. So for the side of the offensive tree, on the mastery page, it's going to be 9 points in offensive, 21 points in defense. So once again, not going to take the 9 points in the utility tree. Instead, going for more aggression. I'm going to play more aggressive. So a bit weird though, not picking up and wielding as well as block to reduce the damage taken when ganks into lane, not taking safeguard, but I should stay putting points in relentless and 1 point into legendary armor.
we saw yesterday, Tensai Boy actually picked up the safeguard point so he could dive turrets even better, obviously. And now we're just gonna wait for the time out and we'll get into the game. So, as we go into the game, who do you think has a better team composition, Teddy?
So far, in terms of team composition, I would have to say that it's going to be nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
Yes. In terms of AoE wise, they can do a lot of things, but it comes down to the execution, as you mentioned.
Yep.
Yes. But for the time, in terms of engaging and just going all in with the Volibear, Cho'Gath, as well as Lulu's Wild Growth, it's going to work out so much better. Like, they can make some mistakes and they should be able to be fine with it for the side of Team Secret, but for the side, nothing to lose because most of their important skills are ultimates. If they make a mistake, it's going to decimate their own. They're going to decimate their own team because when the engages happen, they have no additional burst or crowd control needed. I mean, Gragas has a lot of burst damage. His cooldowns for body slam and his cast is very quick, but the main damage though is still the ultimate as well as the disengage that it provides and just pushes everyone around into their favor. So coming up from there, all the ultis will be used to protect Caitlyn as well. And if they are all used wrongly, then it's going to be very hard for this nothing to lose to do damage constantly, which is one of the main things. Which Caitlyn is not so favored as an AD carry because you need to be constantly there to do the damage. But for Varus, you land a few auto attacks, cast a spell, fall back, do it, they rinse, repeat,
Rinse
you still
and
do a
repeat,
lot. Yeah, you do a lot of damage. As you, the same thing. Poke a few times, jump back, have fun, do the same thing.
But I think
Kind of
for the
style.
early game, we will really depend on Gloria's actions.
Yes,
He self-confessed that he is one of the best Lee Sins in our server.
yes.
He reminds me of that constantly. And now he has the chance to show the whole stream, I guess, that he is the best Lee Sin in our server.
Yes, and so yes, for Volibear, I was correct. Right now, the Rolling Thunder skills per level, 5% per level, and when it reaches level 5, it's actually more than in the past. You can stack up to 50% when they're moving towards champions, which is a great bonus boost. In the past, I believe it was 40 or 45% before it was nerfed, because it was just providing too much movement speed and too much utility. In the early games for Volibear, it's like almost unstoppable.
He was a sure kill for every game. But we will actually get into the game right now, guys. So this is the first game of the day. Group
Yes.
B, Spring Season Finals. Nothing to lose versus Secret. Here we
And-
go.
Yes, here we go. So this is going to be exciting. As you mentioned though, who do you think will go for a counter jungle? Start off with some. Oh, never mind. It's going to
And
start with a
this
pause.
is the legendary pause. For you guys that don't know, whenever Teddy T-Burst is in the room, there would be a pause of the game. It's a for sure thing.
Yes, yes. That's like all I like to see.
Because it's just maybe to troll Teddy T-Burst, I'm not really sure. But yeah, I think it's some kind of a delay. Everyone just stretching their fingers a little bit, you know.
Oh, it's most probably no. I would say it's because for I played with Gloria personally,
Yeah.
so I've known he has the wooden PC, so to speak. Everyone likes to call it that way. And then whenever he connects into the game, or even when I sleepy, I believe, like they're going to the game, they have a slight delay where they need to pause first because they actually haven't finished loading in.
Yeah, but we are
when
actually
the game
into the
starts.
game now, finally. So, for you, like you said, for the level 1 invades, I think that Secret would actually try for a level 1 invade. They want to disrupt Gloria's jungle so that he won't be so dominant in the jungle.
So we might see it happen because we see the whole team though for the start of Team Secret moving to the bottom area, but actually going to move towards the blue buff instead of the red buff. And Lee Sin would start on the red most of the time, but because
And
he's on the red
another
side,
pause comes out.
yes, so
Kid
most probably
Eddie,
yes.
it's your jinx, man.
No, it's okay. This time it was the on the side of Team Secret. They initiated a pause, so I believe it's they have a slight keyboard problem.
Technology always fails.
Technology always fails at the right moment.
But okay, this is what I wanted to say. Like you pointed out, they're actually going to the blue buff. Why they want to go to blue buff is that because they do not want to encounter nothing to lose. They just want to disrupt Gloria's jungle so he won't be so dominant. So if they go to the blue buff, they won't see anybody from nothing to lose. Maybe they'll see Caitlyn, but he will back off. But they cannot do anything to stop the whole Secret from taking away blue buff. And ultimately, Gloria will slow down in the jungle.
Well, it will be interesting to see though if it would be a 5v5 fight. We see a pentakill happen in the early stages of the game.
Okay, that would be sick. But look at that. Gloria is actually going to stand at this brush right here to see if they can spot anybody out.
So Caitlyn is still standing up here. He hasn't upped any skills yet because he's afraid he'll need to caliber that away, I believe. So he doesn't want to plant the Yoda Snapchat first. Oh, definitely Sai is moving on. We see the pace coming out. Are they going to plant the ward?
Oh,
Or are they going to move into it? Oh, yes, they're
the
going to
ward.
plant the ward. They're going to be able to spot this out. And I think Secret, yes, they will manage to see the ward in this area. So they are going to fall back.
that was a great ward there by Deathly's Flag. It just completely ruined Secret's plan.
Yes.
And they have to just fall back right now.
It was also the proper timing because on the side nothing to lose, they will know they're a bit slower because of the walls being planted at the side here first, and then Sona transition to the bottom lane. So it's going to be a great start. As you mentioned, they wanted to go for their initiate and counter jungle, but it did not happen because of the one single ward that was planted, and they did manage to spot and halt the entire team for the side of Team Secret.
You see now Gloria actually opting to start with blue buff. Like you said, you thought that he would start with red, but no, he's actually going with blue.
So something happens because they want to go for the blue-red gang mid or gang top scenario and snowball the lanes. So for Lee Sin, he excels really quickly in clearing the jungle camps. For Side Bear, it's great but not as fast because as you can see very quickly the blue buff has been taken, but on the side the red buff is harder to take down. WCS just got it. But right now, in terms of moving into jungle camps to cause all the resting strike as well as Sonic Wave, Lee Sin will be much faster.
Ikun getting a lot of poke there. He just walked the wrong way and straight away chucked down to half. But look at that. My predictions did not actually come true. They are going for the standard lanes and no lane swap was that.
So we will see how well Akun will be able to handle the pressure coming up from this. And not only that, I would say that Akun, the positioning of how you choose to walk, because they wanted to make sure he got the correct amount of CS, that's why he walked through that area. Because you do reach the lane faster as well as you can reach the minions faster, but if you walk into an enemy team, you're going to take a lot of damage, and Akun was punished for that.
That Hidden Blade putting on some good harass onto the mid lane, Hui Hui, getting some unnecessary damage, but you are a Gragas, you have to go into mid range to
It's
auto.
okay. All you do is drink and you heal up.
Drinking always solves the problem.
Yes, drinking always solves the problem, but people drink water, drink liquor.
Yeah, I can see Stray having some problems in the top lane. Not really getting all the CS he would like, but he is in the lead at the moment. But look at that, he actually started with a Doran's Blade and no health pots or wards. What do you think about that?
So it's actually quite a common start for Canon nowadays. For up lane start of Doran's Blade, they need to be slightly careful though, not to get caught off guard by anything because they do not have the early ward and everyone knows about it. But it does give the extra poke and sustain needed. And look at that, at the top lane, the trade, you can see it's just going into Canon's favor so well because Cho'Gath did start off with the pots not elixir, the flask
Crystalline
and the ward.
Flask.
Yes, so he will be great, have great sustain, but his damage output though is not as high, which is why he's like taking a lot of hits from there.
Let's look at the early CS here in the 4-minute mark. No, every lane actually kind of going even, I guess you can say. What do you think Lee Sin just hit level 4 and he has level buff. He's looking for a gank at top, but did that ward just spot him out? Yes, it did. So, Tofu Alex knows that Lee Sin is on the wings. He will play a lot more passive and he'll just try to last hit him, but you know, it won't be the end of the world if he does miss some CS.
Yes, but he is Cho'Gath. He can play aggressively. His flash is still up already. He just needs to make sure he doesn't get hit by the Resident Strike. And here he knows they're going for it. The Science will hit, so Stray was unable to land the stun needed. So it was a great response coming out from Tofu Alex. Knowing that they're going to go all in onto him, he immediately used the silence.
Yep, and he does not burn out his flash. But
But
here
the
comes
flash happens at the bottom lane. We will see 1CP get turned into the crit squirrel, but with a flash and a 90 caliber nap, he will get into safety. And he didn't use the barrier just yet. So even when the next gank comes, he should still be safe and up and ready. And that was, well, Secret just being very aggressive, wanting to go for the early kill straight away. But with the sustain coming out from Sona, I believe 1SCP will be able to stay in the lane quite well. But for the side of the tanks, he's taking a bit of too much damage, but he still has the health pots to help him sustain the lane.
Yep, you can see that One Eye Sleepy showing that he's one of the best AD carries in Malaysia. Very good mechanics there to just evade that gank. But now, nothing really happening. I expected more gank from Lee Sin, you know, because he is really dominant in the early levels. But so far, he only tried the gank at top lane, and that's about it.
Yes. So this is one of the more common things, but here we will see though Tofu X trying to dodge the shuriken. He would take a lot of too many steps too far away, but Stray did not pick up Ignite. He only has teleport.
He might actually use it and
with the last hit. Oh, Tofu Alex a bit too aggressive in terms of trying to secure the CS, and he will get hit by the auto attack.
That was great play by Stray, and wow, just showing the mechanics from how to play Cannon, and that was beautiful. But Tofu Alex went a little bit greedy there. He wanted the CS, but 15 gold for first blood, I don't think that's worth it.
Yes, and here we have another pause, not sure what is the problem, but on the side of Tofu Alex, you see immediately he picks up the Duran shield and the cloth armor. And
Tofu Alex actually disconnected.
He casts a spell though before.
So yeah, I don't think that was a
I
factor.
don't think that was it was a factor on how he died, because he still stayed to cast a spell to clear the minions.
And if he actually disconnected during that time, they would have paused earlier, I guess.
Yes. So here we will see, as mentioned, because he did pick up the items very quickly, it's going to be the Doran shield and the cloth armor. So, as I mentioned, for Cho'Gath, he's going to go a bit more tanky. You want to make sure you secure CS, farm up, especially your feast, make yourself have 6 stacks, extra HP like a Warmox, and become as big as possible, a threat to the opponent team. But with the early advantage though, going to Cannon is not going to bode so well for him, because Cannon, he is a hybrid mix of damage. He has great attack speed for the auto attack. He brought the Doran's Blade, but he's still going to go for mostly ability power damage later on when he transitions.
Yeah, we can see now the game has been resumed, but look at that. Cho'Gath, you know, even if you shut him down in lane, he's still going to be that tank. He just needs a couple of CS, couple of thief stacks, and it'll be alright.
Yes.
A Cannon, the thing is that, look at that. He builds armor, and the only thing that can counter that just builds some magic penetration.
Yes. So instantly picking up the Haunting Guys. I thought he'll pick up another Doran's Blade and maybe move on to build the Zonias instantly, but he's going to be more aggressive because he is winning the lane. He just picks up the extra spell penetration. So wow, apparently he DC'd again. So
Not really sure what's happening on the side of Secret, but a lot of these connections happening actually. So
Yes.
again, it's going to be Tofu Alex. Maybe, you know, they have this time to reconstruct themselves, just tell themselves, hey, we're still in the game, it is first blood, that's about it.
sometimes sad to say, so to speak, sometimes this disconnection will break the flow for yourself or your opponent teams, depending on how it works. I mean, you're in the heat of the moment. If you break that concentration, some people can't recover from it. So that's what separates, like, I would say, normal players and pro players, so to speak. Like, no matter what happens in the game, with any problems you face, you need to remain focused into it. So it is going to be coming back. Everything should be smooth now, hopefully.
Oh.
I believe Team Secret should be playing in A Station though. So
Yeah, I think so. The A Station, the only cyber cafe in Kampa, I think.
So it actually have a lot of cyber cafes and compounds, but A Station is their sponsor. So this is gonna work. This is gonna be fine. I believe they just chose the wrong PC, or maybe somehow the PC just decided to act up, because we do a lot of events there in the past. So here we will see though in the mid lane though, both champions hitting level 6, but who will be able to secure the first kill is gonna be very important.
That Hidden Blade actually going a little bit of aggressive onto Gragas, but he's just, like you said, drink and it's gonna be K. But here
Yes.
comes Lee Sin into the mid lane. Now, I expect Gloria to do a lot more ganks now. He is level 5, he'll hit level 6 soon, and with the Dragon Rage, his ultimate, he'll be able to kick the opponents back into the team, and that is where Lee Sin really shines. And he
Yes.
really needs to do something, because into the mid game or to the late game, Lee Sin falls off really terribly.
It would depend. If you can play like Insect, it doesn't matter what stage of you are as Lee Sin, I have to say.
Yeah, but compared to Volibear, he actually falls off worse into the late game.
There will be one thing. But here we will see though, Stray going to play very aggressive towards Tofu Alex right now. He will be able to dodge the Rupture, land those auto attacks as well as spells, but the damage output coming out from Tofu Alex is much stronger as he has the better sustain. You can see how fast he clears the minions and heals back the mana and HP, which is what makes not Tofu Alex, sorry, but makes Cho'Gath so hard to deal with.
But Stray needs to be careful. The combination of Feast and Ignite will put out tons of damage, and it is true damage. For all the armor you have, it will not block any of it. If he lands one Rupture, I am sure that now he does land. Okay, if he lands one more Rupture, I guess he will be in the range of a Feast and Ignite combo, and he will go down instantly.
But no, Tofu is actually going back to the base, going to heal up. Doesn't want to take the risk because his ward is still healthy actually, but he just wants to make sure that he plays much more safe because he did accidentally gave away the first kill, which is not what he wanted. So he's just playing much more safe to make sure that he does not give an additional lead over to Stray up top. So here bottom lane we will see though, YSCP is already at level 6, Sona is going to reach level 6 as well. So this is going to be we might see an engage happening at bottom very soon. Whether we will see great plays coming out to pick up the kill because Ezreal is very squishy, and if a great combination comes out together and the full combo potential comes up before the tanks reach level 6, it's going to be very easy for Caitlyn and Sona to burst down Ezreal or even Lulu herself.
Gloria has hit level 6 and now he's working his way onto the bot lane. The mindset of this is that he gets the kill onto bot lane and it will be a free dragon. And with Cannon having teleport, he can just teleport to the bot lane anytime he wants.
Yes.
But Cho'Gath doesn't have the luxury of that. He took Flash and Ignite instead of teleport and Flash. So now you can see Crescendo is up, he is level 6, but the ward inside the brushwood maybe exposed her movement. So Secret will play a little bit more safe. But look at that, Orianna might be actually going to the bot lane. Nope.
No, Orianna just
took a really long way.
Checking out whether she should gank up, but the mid lane was being pushed in. You can see the pings are coming up, with the ganks are coming. They are going to go for the bot lane and try to transition it to Dragon, as you mentioned. But it's going to be for the side of NCL, though. They are actually going to wait for the Ray buff to spawn because they thought maybe Volibear did it later. But here the ward is going to spot out both Hui Hui and Gloria, and the additional ward being planted over the wall right there. And here we will see the ward planted. It will be spotted by the ping ward. So Hui Hui and Gloria know they've been spotted. I think they should have allowed that wall to be planted for the side of Secret to try and bait the fight because they might have gotten pincer attack that Orianna managed to come into the correct position.
Yeah, Stray is actually really, really low, and as I said, you cannot underestimate the damage from Rupture, Pharaoh Scream, and Feast. That just does a lot of damage, and here comes the Rupture. The Ignite will go down. The Feast, he's just not in range, and there you go. He does pop the Slicing Motion, but it will be a valid attempt. He does go down, and there you go. You just cannot forget about the damage, and as we see Hui Hui missing a body slam into
the minion. And yes, so this is a great comeback for herself. You can see he's catching up the CS very quickly because as Cho'Gath, you stack levels, you get the extra damage from your spells, and it's going to be so easy for you to clear the minion camp instantly.
He needs to pick up something like a Hextech Revolver so he can stay in the lane longer. He opted to go for more damage because he thought he was bullying Cho'Gath. But as I said, Cho'Gath, you don't really matter if you get 1 or 2 dabs early on. Once you hit 6 and you get those 3 stacks rolling, you'll be fine. And that just shows that just was the perfect example of that.
Yes. So here, coming back for other lanes, we will see though, Hui Hui is actually losing out on CS, even though he did stay in the lane much longer.
He did went to the bot lane, tried to gank, and he was spotted up the ward, so I guess you can give him a little bit the benefit of the doubt. But they're not robots, they do miss CS left and right.
No, you see Koreans though, they don't miss CS.
Well, Double Leaf doesn't miss any CS too, so
yes,
I guess you can say it. But yeah, they're not on that level yet, I think. So missing a few CS, it's a normal thing to do.
So we will see though Akon picking up the BF sword, so we might see a normal Ezreal instead of the blue Ezreal, or he might be bringing Blood Thirster before it goes for maybe the Iceborne Gauntlet and other things like that. I've seen a few Ezreals have decided to go on to that build. They go for the sustain first, then switch to Cyber Ezreal. And yes, here we will see Volibear down in the brush here, preparing for the gank. Once again, his flash is up and ready, but Sona as well as Lee Sin are warding the area, ping warding all around, and here they what the ward will spot Lee Sin out. So WCWS might decide to disengage, standing a bit further this time, not being so boss.
Lee Sin actually solo starting off the dragon there. Now the whole dragon area is ping warded. They know that Secret doesn't have any vision, and here you go. This is the vision that Secret can see.
Yes.
Right here, this is what Secret can see, and they just don't know anything about it. And look at that, a free dragon for nothing to lose.
Yes. They do not dare engage onto it because the side has been robbed. They could be camping, could be waiting for them to go in. And on the side of Secret, they do not have the wards because the tanks hasn't returned to base yet. So that is why they couldn't really transition into anything at all. So it's not going to be so great for the side of Team Secret. So slight early advantage coming up for the nothing to lose because of the dragon pickup. But overall though, we will see in the CS game for the top and mid, the Team Secret is winning out quite a bit actually.
You see that the dragon got picked up, but look at the goalie, it's just 700. You know, because in the CS, in terms of CS, you can see that Secret actually ahead of it, just by a little bit. Top lane ahead by 20, in the mid lane by 10, but look at that. At bottom lane, both AD carries are dead even. Just
Yes.
nothing that can separate that. The blue buff does get passed on to Hui, and nothing much will be happening.
So overall, actually a very safe game played by both teams.
Yeah.
We've seen the volleyball come out to gank, but just only once. He tried to camp bottom again, but other than that, they've seen all the lanes. They're just doing their own thing. They've just been farming in the lanes. We haven't seen any aggressive ganks come up for both junglers this game.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that Gloria hasn't done really much with his Lee Sin. You know, as a Lee Sin, you want to focus on that early gas to try to snowball that lane, but he hasn't been doing that, or he hasn't been able to be doing that, because Secret has been playing relatively safe. Only Tofu Alex has been able to kind of bully his lane, so to speak.
Especially the 3 ping wards planted down the bot lane. There's actually an addition. It's actually only one ward for the side. There's actually no wards at bot lane.
Yeah.
It's been ping ward entirely, but Lee Sin, it's not after taking the dragon, he's not getting bot at once. So it's a bit of a waste, I think. There's so many ping wards being bought, so many ping wards being used, but it didn't transition to any kills. I mean, you secure the dragon, that's a great thing for your entire team, but you should have tried to secure some kills for your team at the same time.
And you can see now One Eye Sleepy doing the work onto that tower, as you said, I mean. Ezreal against Caitlyn. Caitlyn's gonna have the better trade of that, because of the rage, because of the overall utility. And look at that turret is going down so fast, and they're focusing all their damage onto Akun, and Akun will be forced to go back, and that will result in the free turret.
Yes, and not only that, it is actually the great poke coming out of Sona. The combination, once Sona reaches the level, the power chords as well as the Hymn of Valor is going to hurt so much more, and he's been able to chunk down both the tanks and Akun very well. And here the ward was spot out Volley Bear, but YCP, yes, and he's going to fall back with the 90 caliber net instantly, and the minions missed the tower by the last hit because of the fear coming out from Volley Bear.
Yeah, but I don't think that would be a big factor. One more tickle would finish off that turret, and here comes Caitlyn will be pushing the lane just to finish off the tower, and nothing much Volibear can do about it.
Oh, here the ping ward will be planted. Volibear will spot in the wall in the tri-bush, and Gragas is actually going to go in. They're going to try to go and dive onto Gragas. They're not sure if this is the best choice, but nope. They're going to opt to back off because of the pings going on. But no, Lee Sin is actually going to move into the bot lane as well. We will see the pokes coming out from YSTP as well as Deadly Side onto. Oh, there goes the perfect crescendo. The flash comes out to the back. The X-Men guys will miss. Lee Sin goes in with the kick, hits him to the wall, and the Ignite blast the combo of Resident Strike and Sonic Wave will secure the kill. And Team Secret is a bit too slow to respond to this.
That was the play that finally happened at 15 minutes, but here comes a rupture onto Cannon. No follow-up there by Tofu Alex. But look at that. The play that like I said, Gloria needed to try to snowball any lane to make his Lee Sin work, and finally he did it in the 15-minute mark. A little bit late, but no worries, still done it, and it's all good.
Yes. And also, we're going to help though with the tower being taken down and the additional kill onto the jungle. It was going to set back WCWS a bit, so when they go for the next dragon, we will see Gloria at a higher level with a better smite and better power to secure the things. So here we will see though Stray being pressured up top quite a bit, as we did mention before. He went for the additional damage, but against Cho'Gath, when he just stacks up on the level as he grows up, his passive will increase per level as well. So it's not working out so well for him. His tower is being chunked down quite a bit. I hope to see Gloria go and help top very soon, but there is a ward at the tri-rush, and Gloria is going to go through the lane. Oh no, once again the ward will spot Gloria, but they're actually going to get Gloria is actually going to defend the lane instead of going to help for the gank, because Stray is just going to go back to buy some items. Let's check a bit on the gold. He has 2.5k, and Cho'Gath did go back earlier. He bought the Spirit Visage, and it has still 700 gold in his pocket. So this overall, the top lane is going to be a fair fight, but with the magic resist being stacked up, it is in.
Because WCWS with the Rolling Thunder, he will try to dive under the turret, the feast will come out, and that will be one deadly sin.
Yeah, so they're going to secure the kill onto Glover as well as the tower most probably, but no. Oh, the cannon teleport was stopped by the tower being brought down by WCWS. He should have teleported.
No, I do not think that was what happened, because even if the tower broke, he would still have to teleport. I think
you can't teleport the towers when they break. I tried it before.
Alright, maybe.
Yes.
Maybe, yeah. I'm not really sure.
If the ward or if it's a flag or if it's lantern and they expire, you will still go there. But if it's a tower is brought down, nope, you cannot travel there.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't really use teleport much, so I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Just a little bit of wrong information, I guess. But look at that. Hui farming out with Orianna. The mid lane hasn't really been happening much, honestly. Just both you farm, I farm, peace.
Yes. But when it comes down to it, we will see Orianna with a slightly, just in the CS once again. Like I saw he did manage to catch up, but after he went for the gank, he did also slightly. And yes, the dragon has just spawned out. It's going to spawn very soon.
In around next few seconds. But look at that. Stray doesn't have his teleport anymore, so he cannot have that danger of a 4v5 fight. And you know, that could be a big factor. Even though you're holding Tofu Alex at top, it will be a 4v4. But the terms of presence, Cho'Gath has less presence in the team fight compared to Cannon because of the slicing maelstrom and such.
No, normally for Cho'Gath, you don't play. It's very easy to see a pro player using Cho'Gath and just a normal player using, because the chances of rupture hitting is very low because they're not so sure where to use the abilities. But we can see, but most of the time when Tofu Alex uses it, it's almost a free hit, or it's going to hit, or it does hit.
90%.
It's 90% of the time so far.
Yeah, so far. But like you can say, like when they are actually on their comfort champions, they know every single ability. They know the range, the cast time, and all those. You know, they know all this information down to the wire, so they can utilize it to their fullest effect.
Yes. So we're going to see a contest for the dragon happening. As you mentioned, Cho'Gath is actually going to travel down to bottom lane. Stray is still up top, so I'm not sure how this is going to work out. But what I see, he does have the Infinity Edge. It's just pushing down the herd onto Akun, forcing him to fall back. But here, the entire team on the side of Team Secret is here in the dragon pit.
Teleport is going to be off cooldown in 45 seconds, but I don't think it will make it enough for this fight. Gloria is actually one level ahead of WCWS, so he might actually be able to steal it. Akun getting really low. The crescendo cards come in. The Dragon Rage comes in. A great ultimate there by Orianna.
And the steal coming from Lee Sin at the same time. And here we will see everything charged back. If everything goes in a bit too deep, it will be a double kill for Orianna, but it's a 2-for-2 so far. And Sona is in a bad position. Rupture hits with the Rolling Thunder, and this will be a kill. And triple kill for Orianna. A great pickup for the side of... I'll have to say for Secret, it was a 2-for-1 trade, but Dragon being taken at tower exchange
though. 3-for-1 trade. The Dragon and tower actually went to and nothing to lose. So I think those actually benefited more from that.
Yes, but the problem lies in the triple kill that went to Orianna. I guess so quickly we can see she has gained 1.3k gold. So she's going to be able to get this large round very quickly. And the overall burst damage we saw just now was all chunked down Lee Sin so quickly. So they need to be careful. Look at that. So much damage.
One combo just chunked down 1/3 of Caitlyn's health. And they need to keep note of that. They cannot let that happen over and over again.
Yes. So now... So while SCP with great positioning, he just full health, you take that hit, it's fine because there's no one else there, but needs to be very careful about overall how you play around it. But currently with the overall map control with the 2 towers and the dragon still, so far 2 dragons, 2 towers on the south NCL, but they're only having a 2k goal lead because overall kills taken is in the lead for the side of Team Secret as well as the CS.
You can see that blue buff actually was passed on to Cho'Gath because Orianna actually picked up the blue from Gragas by killing Gragas. And you know, why not give a free blue to Cho'Gath? You know, always fun. More feast, faster feast stacks, and more ruptures for the enemy.
And also more pressure in the lane. So because Cho'Gath did travel down bottom, we see Stray managing to catch up with CS as well as a lot of the goal. But here in the mid side, we will see Akun trying to push the lane, leaving down the bot lane. So most of the time, we will see, because if your bot lane tower is broken, you know the means be able to push in further, don't defend the bot lane. Some teams will try to get the mid lane instead, because that tower is the most important tower that allow your jungle as well as other lanes to freely roam around.
You can see now the poke coming to the fact. Ezreal's Mystic Shot and Orianna's ball doing a lot of damage before the team fight actually happens, you know. And they need 3 auto attacks from different
Different champions, yes. But I mean, the ball was well planted for the start of Lee Sin because he wanted to make sure with the fight does engage you with the safeguard and kick someone forward like Oriana, the main target, or even Ezreal to help the team secure the kills. So right now, once
Here
this is
comes
going
Lee
to
Sin
come
from the
execution.
side. Actually, he might look to engage, but the ward does spot him out. So he might actually second thing about that.
Yes. So by then we will see Strain ignoring the fact that the mid lane is pushing. He's just pushing up top. He's finding reach onto the opponent's tower, but he does not have a ward though to see the side of what's happening. Cho'Gath is coming in to defend, so he does know that someone is coming because there's no one, not everyone's in the midst. But here we will see the damage coming from Relaya and the post coming up from Stray onto Tofu X. We will see he might be able to penetrate, but no rupture lands again, and Tofu X is just going to walk into his face saying, "Ha, look at this, we sustain.
Yep.
I'm not afraid of you."
Interesting to note that Tofu X picked up a Doran's string together with his Doran shield, so a lot of ability power and armor. But look at that, one Rupture and Feral Scream. The amount of damage coming out from Tofu Alex is nothing to be laughed at. And the first time I see Tofu Alex actually missing the Rupture, a lot of great trade coming out from Cannon. But the Feral Scream just chunking down the health of Cannon. He cannot go in, and Tofu X will just heal up with his passive.
Yes, with not only the passive, but addition of 20% coming out of Spirit Visage is just a lot. But I want Sleepy though, positioning himself.
Here comes straight the
aggressively.
Ignite into the Feast. Will it be enough? The last Rupture, he does dodge it. The last tick of Ignite will be enough. A great solo kill there on Tofu Alex.
Yes. So Stray overstayed his welcome, I believe. He wanted to teleport in the brush, but then Tofu Alex was like, okay, he should be there. Just went in and managed to secure a kill onto Stray just like that.
You cannot forget that Stray does have teleport, and he did not pop his slicing Maelstrom, so he can actually teleport to the mid lane if the fight does break out. And I think Secret wants to try and engage on the fight right now.
Yes. So for the side of NTL, they just need to delay the fight slightly, and then we might see a tempo come out because they have a ping wall behind. We do see it being planted right there. And oh, here it comes the engage from Kuala, going a bit too far with the silence, so he's unable to land the kick. I'm not sure as well. They wanted Crescendo comes in a bit late, but 2-4X being chunked down by 1 SCP. This is a 2 kills for the side of Team Secret, a mistake coming out from the side of NTL.
Not really sure what Gloria was thinking there, but he actually went in, and I think he wanted Dragon Rage Oriana back, but he got silenced by the Feral Scream, and the rest was history.
So here, which Gragas use the explosive cast to protect the tower. Nope, they're just gonna let it off, let it go, and just farm up whatever they have left in terms of the overall CS.
Yep, I can see everyone just going back. The Dragon should be up relatively soon. Yep, in 1 minute time, the Dragon will spawn, and that will be the contest of both teams.
Yes, but I think it was a bit of a bad follow-up though from the team because if they saw Lee Sin got silent, so to speak, I believe that Gragas should have just thrown his casket for the disengage.
Yep. You can see now Stray hasn't really been doing much in team fights. I think he haven't even joined a team fight yet. No,
Yes, because so far when he's supposed to be in the team fight, he's dead. Or he's pushing top.
he needs the hourglass really quickly so he doesn't get chunked down like he got in the top lane. I can see now he does have the Seeker's Arm Guard, one of the components for hourglass, and he needs the other item. He needs to get it quick. Maybe just before the 30-minute mark would be an ideal time for it.
But here we see Cho'Gath stacking up on the tanky items. He want to go complete the Frozen Heart very quickly. He's going to be tanky in terms of not just magic resist but physical attack as well. He has bought the Ninja Tabi as well, so Caitlyn's damage is going to be reduced by a lot until she's able to pick up the Blast Twisters. But she is going to complete her Phantom Dancer first. We can see she picked up the Cloak instead. So hopefully it works out for them with the overall damage output as well as attack speed.
Even though Nothing to Lose is down in kills, they are actually up in gold because of the global of the 2 dragons. And that is a really big factor. Even though you're losing, you're still you still can keep up with them. That is actually a really good thing. If they actually get an ace of it, the gold lead will skyrocket.
Yes.
See now the Iceborne Gauntlet getting picked up by Azure. Like you said, picks up first the Bird Thruster, and he will go for the Iceborne Gauntlet. But look at that, he still has tier 1 boots, so he won't be moving as fast as he likes. But he does have the Arcane Shift, so he can just move around really quickly.
Yeah, so here we will see a very early pickup of Oracles though by the tanks, and here we will see NTL initiate on the Dragon very quickly because there's lead spot of everyone else with the ward, and they know that no one's there. And here instantly they just pick up, look at that, so quick in terms of securing the Dragon, even though the smite wasn't on the correct timing, but because of the Resonant Strike, Sonic Wave combination, and then the smite just chunked the Dragon down for quarter HP, almost dead, and just instantly took it away.
There was no chance that WCWS was actually gonna steal that, even though he is one of the best junglers in Malaysia. But look at that, Secret will try to siege this mid turret. But you trying to siege against a Caitlyn, not the best idea.
Well, we have to see though, because if they manage to catch Kaylin off with the flashes of light, so to speak, you see a volley thunder into the rupture and the Oriana shockwave combo, any AD carry is gonna die. They're gonna be like, what the hell just happened?
You see, even though Cannon is not joining teamfights, he's still being a nuisance. He's constantly pushing that lane, and Secret, no, they cannot just leave him alone because he's gonna push that lane really quickly. He does have some attack speed from the W, and a lot of damage from ability power, so he can chunk down towers really, really quickly. So they cannot just let him push all day, and they cannot actually dive onto the turret because they have the Gragas ultimate, the Sonar Crescendo, and even a little bit disengaged from Gloria himself.
Who's well be a little if they extend the straight line, it's like tons of damage, everyone's flying up. It's like I've seen a lot of 4-5 plays where the Lee Sin Dragon King actually lands on the entire team, and those are fantastic, those are phenomenal.
And with Gloria's capabilities, I'm sure that he is able to do something like that. You see now, both teams just kind of backing off, but the Dragon count is actually 3-0, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes,
and
it's
that is
3-0.
keeping nothing to lose in this game.
So overall though, we will have to see when Nothing to Lose decides to engage on the team fight. They've been playing very safe, allowing Stray to split push because he has a teleport. But he hasn't been actually buying wards as his split push. Actually going to playing very aggressive, waiting for his mid lane, the support to plant the wards in the mid side to try and spot out where everyone is before it goes all in somewhere. And now after the immense amount of farm, I believe he will pick up the Zhonya's finally, and he will go into team fights now. He has a Paralyze, he has the Zhonya's, he has the Haunting Guys, and this is the time when Nothing to Lose should initiate on a great team fight.
The idea behind the split push is that if they actually send more than one guy down, Nothing to Lose can engage at the mid lane because
Yes.
it would be a 4v3 if they send 2 or more, and that would instantly be in Nothing to Lose's favor.
But I do hope to see though the perfect team fight because as a team comp wise, a lot of things, the AoEs and as well as the damage coming up is so going to be in the favor of Nothing to Lose. But the wall will spot Glover up and they do trace him away. Even though they plant the wall over the wall, he needs to be very careful of his positioning.
Here comes the Oracles actually does clear out the ward. Now, why did they actually pick out so early Oracles? Why do you think so?
I mean, it's actually very normal now, even though we're losing or winning on a tie. When you reach the 20 to 25 minutes mark, you want to pick out Oracles. You want to deward because you can see the towers are being taken down. You're going to move very deep into enemy territory. You want to remove their sight as much as possible in order to secure like free kills around the map. You can see that there's no wards on the side of Baron, actually for the side from Nothing to Lose. They have it because they planted over the wall. It's going to expire very soon, but they have no more. They don't have any stronger wards in the other areas. So if they do try to ward Baron, and if Secret decides to camp in this brush, it's going to be an instant kill, instant give if they manage to catch onto Sona or the AD carry. So this is why Nothing to Lose. This is be very wary about this. Gloria or Sona should pick up Orcus soon, in my opinion. But here they will spot out Lee Sin trying to go to bottom to help Cannon with a gank. They're just pushing them all around. 2 at bottom, 1 at top, 2 in mid for the side of Team Secret. And look at that one SCP, he's just trying to poke onto Cho'Gath when there's 100 damage.
Look at that. Cho'Gath is not even gonna bother. It's not like meh. It's all right.
Yes,
I'm just gonna
meh.
kick that out.
It's just meh damage, so to speak. But will he be able to protect Sao? He does have the Russia and Fair Stream, and he is going to use it to clear off the
Here
way.
comes the Ratchet, does land on the 3 people. The Rolling Thunder does him, and here comes the team fight. Look at the damage. A Crescendo does land only onto Cho'Gath, and not the ideal target. The Slicing Motion does come in. The Hourglass does get popped right now. And look at that. One ICP is at the back doing so much damage. The ultimate from Oriana actually missing, not hitting anyone, and everyone just trying to disengage, but one ICP is kept alive. He's trying to duel with 3 people. I'm not thinking that's the best idea, or Lee Sin is that trying to keep it alive, but WCWS is still really, really healthy. He will try to cut down that Lee Sin, but he just decides to pop back and might not get a free kill onto Sona. And that it will go to a 3-for-1 exchange for Secret.
Yes, even though everyone's very low for this, might go down to this. No, he flashes away,
Oh.
and the barrier comes out, and Stray is in a world of hurt. And this is going to be a 4-for-1 trade for the side of Nothing to Lose, and you might transition into a Baron. WCWS just still has passive up and ready. Let's take a look. Yes, he does. So he's going to be able to tank the Baron and heal up his HP very quickly. And Glover needs to spot this, needs to take note of this. Will he go for the Baron still, which is the most important thing for his team right now?
I don't think he will go for the Baron still. He doesn't have any vision at all. I don't think he does. I don't think he even knows this is happening. He just thinks that the whole team secret just went bad because they're too low.
He really needs to check this. Because the ward, this spot them out, they were heading towards Baron though, the pink ward here, I believe. But nope, he is just going to push mid instead, not going to opt to try to go for the Baron still. And the blue team will secure the Baron while Glovias takes the mid tower away. So
He's still farming. I'm not really sure this is the best idea, but there's not a lot of damage that can actually bring him down in terms of Cho'Gath. So he's just gonna back off. He does get a tower for a Baron, and even though all those happen, look at the goal lead. It's just 500.
Yes. Because overall objectives, global objectives wise, is still in the favor of nothing to lose. They've secured 3 dragons, additional tower, even though they are 8 kills behind. The team fight was a bit messy though. The great sizing Musong came in, but Hui Hui did not use explosive casket because he was waiting for Cannon to teleport in, and he was chunked down so quickly. So he needs to make faster decision making, in my opinion. Like, he should just throw it out, even though it might disrupt the Cannon teleporting in, but he needs to make sure he survives long enough for his team so he can deal the amount of damage in the end. One ICP was winning the trade against Akun, definitely, but the problem lies in the junglers coming as well as the tanks
Look at that.
moving into his
It
face.
should be a free dragon for Secret. They do not want to contest it at all. And there you go. The first dragon for Team Secret at the 32-minute mark.
Yes.
And here comes the ball. Do you think they would actually look for an engage? I don't really think so. Nothing to lose. Just trying to back off. But look at that. Cannon doing what he does best, and that is split pushing. Tower is actually relatively low. It will go down to half from this. Maybe half, not really. But what do you think Nothing to Lose have to do to come back from this?
Like, in terms of the team fights though, they had the fight they wanted just not earlier in the mid lane, but the problem lied in, as I mentioned, the execution. Like, Gragas, he died before using his ultimate because he wanted to make sure everyone stayed in the area when Cannon was teleporting in, which is a mistake because he was being chunked down too quickly. He couldn't save himself. He was out. He got caught by the Oriana's ultimate and everything else. But was it ultimate? No, he got caught by the command dissonance.
Yeah, kind of.
The slow and then the
Rolling
rolling thunder.
Thunder.
Yes, and he should just toss the ultimate. Even though it will separate everyone out, but it will separate the enemy team, and his team should be able to be in a better position to fight back. With Cannon teleports in, he might not be able to stun everyone, but he still can stun at least 3 members for the side of Team Secret, and that team fight will end up better. Because one CP was healthy the whole time, just poking away, they managed to kill the tanks very quickly, but he couldn't take down Ezreal fast enough or Wally Bear because of the positions and how tanky they are currently. The last Whispers being brought up for the side of 1ICP. This is going to be a great addition though to the amount of damage being able to dealt out, and it's going to work in their favor.
The tank was just not tanky enough to withstand the damage of one Ice Sleepy. I wanted to say that for a really long time now, and I finally got to say it. But here comes Choka. Here comes the siege into mid-turn at the mid tower because they do have the regeneration from the Baron buff, and I think, but look at that, Hidden Blade getting a lot of damage from the cannon poke, and Akun actually does step onto the trap. The ultimate does get pop up. I don't think this is a fight that NTL wants, but here comes the ultimate. The command shockwave only hitting one of them. Tofu X at the back, he will go down, but so far it is a 2-for-1 trade. Everyone on the Secret is quite low, and one Ice Sleepy is really, really healthy. Both of the carries are there. Here comes the 90 Caliber into the backwards. I don't think that was an ideal, but look at that. Everyone will just disengage safely because they do have some sort of escape, all of them.
I think YCP was worried that the Rolling Thunder will come off on WCWS, that's why he decided to caliber net sideways, but he should have stayed and fight, in my opinion, or try to backstab and save the net. You should use it after it gets tossed, but I believe he was worried about the burst damage coming out from Hidden Blade. This is going to be a 3-for-1 trade, but if they were able to pressure it further, as well, we could have seen, I think that they should be able to secure an ace for the team. But they are taking it very safely, playing it very safe because they're not sure whether they are ahead or behind. But because of the team fight currently, as well as the dragon being picked up from the single dragon being picked up from Team Secret, they are behind by the 2k gold. And once again, but this time the tanks was tanky enough and he did survive.
The tanks was tanky. But keep in mind, that was a Baron up Team Secret, and the team fight wasn't really that bad. It was a 3-for-1 at the end, but look at that. The whole Team Secret was solo, and if they continue to let One Eye Sleepy keep on doing his thing, which is to farm and get more damage, when he picks up a bit of the Ruin King, which I think he will from that Vampiric Scepter, he will be able to do much more damage, and that is the key for Nothing to Lose. It is somewhat of a protect the king comp, and they need to make that to the fact.
But once again, I believe Gragas did not use his ultimate, or did he use his ultimate in the team fight?
I think he did because he didn't die the whole fight. So I'm not really sure about that. I think he used it at the really very end there.
Oh no, because I only saw the Rage Kick kicking Tofu Alex into YCP's face, and the 3 of them engage onto Tofu Alex to kill him. But I don't think I saw the ultimate. I'm not so sure though. I need to really recap on that. Because it seems like he hasn't been using it, so I'm not sure where he did use it in that fight.
Because his normal barrel roll and his explosive card has the same animation, so you can't really see that. It's quite hard to see. But here comes the siege again into mid turret. Team Secret really wants to kill this inner turret in the mid lane. It gives your team so much advantage. But now the Baron Bus has finally timed out. And will this be a trigger for nothing to lose? Look at the amount of damage coming from Caitlyn. A bit of chunk here, a bit of chunk there, and they will surely go down.
And with the barrel rolling down as well as the pill over Peacemaker, they are clearing the mini waves very quickly. And once again, we see, as you mentioned, Stray doing what he does best with the teleport, just speed pushing, applying a lot of pressure into other lanes, and he might be able to secure this tower for his team.
I think Stray should change his name to I Split Push All Day.
I speed push on it.
That would be a good name for you, Stray. I Split Push All Day.
But here we will see he's going to fall back because once again, he does not have the wards because his item slots are full with what item choice he has went for.
We'll go back and try to get an Abyssal Scepter. He does have just enough money.
Yes.
He is a saving chipmunk, so he does get picked that up, but he doesn't have any money, any cash left. I think the last item for him would go for a Death Cap or something like a GA maybe.
Yes, I think he will complete the Lange's Torment and then only the Guardian Angel or the Death Cap, depending on how it goes. But the tanks has been buying a lot of Oracles, and on the side of NT, I haven't seen a single Oracle being bought up, but so many pink wards. So you can see the whole map is always pinked for the side of their own jungle, for the side of NCL, but they've been being removed by the Oracles. And here, another ward being picked up by the tanks. It's like happily farming wards.
I think we need a ward count on how many wards that the tanks actually broke.
Yeah.
I think it's up to double figures by now.
Yes, because he has 25 CS, and I believe a lot of the CS actually came from just rewarding. And here we will see someone going to get caught. The science goes down. Will she be able to let the Crystal? No, she should, but she does not use it in time. And this is going to be a great pickup for the side of Team Secret, and they're going to put the pressure and harass onto the mid lane.
The Guardian Angel actually getting finished there by Caitlyn, so he opted to go for the defensive item instead of finishing the Blade of the Ring King. He knows that he will be the target of the whole team, but look at that. Crescendo is actually off cooldown. That means he did not use it in time and the animation did not finish. But here comes a great rupture on Cho'Gath. It will not
be enough.
But look at
look
that.
at WCWS being channeled solo. Here, this let's go. Hidden Blade uses Zonya, and here we see straight charge right in for the overall damage. We will see a shutdown going on to Caitlyn, but Caitlyn got to hit Tofu Alex because he went for the kill onto Vargas, but that was a bad pick because he should have went for WCWS as well as A-Kun, but they're actually going to disengage from this fight. So it's going to be a 2-for-1 trade. I'm not sure why though they decide to fall back for side YCP.
Here comes WCWS with the flash onto the Rolling Thunder. Gloria will get caught, but here comes One Eye Sleepy at the back. He does get it popped up by the rupture. The flash will keep him in safe distance, and he will actually survive from that. But here comes Sona. Sona still has his crescendo. That is something to note. But look at that. The whole team cannot touch Tofu Alex. He stayed healthy during the whole fight. He tanked 2 turrets and 3 members, and look at that. He's still half health. They need something like a Blade of the Ring King to just able to chunk that.
Yes, and not only that, Lianji's Torment help out as well, but the great engage though from Stray, he keeps his team alive, like from one SCP to do the damage, but Tofu Alex just went past it and he just went to kill onto Hui Hui and then walked away.
One Eye Sleepy definitely doing enough to keep his team in this game. The Dragon will even things out a little bit. It will be 1k goal is the difference between both teams.
Yes.
This is a really, really close game, even though the score doesn't suggest it.
I mean, in terms of kills, if you see other games, it doesn't suggest it because of the trial kill difference. But we will see though the Baron being picked up by the South Team Secret once again. They have the wards, they have the side because of Oracle, and NTL thinks they are the Baron, but they're moving very slowly because they do not have the ping wards or wards needed.
All of them just back off. They do not think this is a fight they fancy, and Dora is at the bot lane. And I think Cannon, maybe he's gonna split push, just maybe. Not really sure about that.
He's gonna be forced to stay in the mid very quickly because all the Baron buff, extra sustain, that he needs to be there to apply the pressure from the Slicing Millstorm onto the enemy team. And every time we see Cannon charge in, we see the exhaust go onto him, so he's unable to deal the burst damage he wishes.
One thing to note, Stray hasn't really been using his or utilizing his teleport into full effect. He has been split pushing and went back and just walked to the mid lane. He hasn't really been doing those 4v5s and suddenly comes in from the back. And I think he should have picked up Ignite and that would be benefiting more for him.
But we just have to see what side of Nothing Lose they decide to do. Because they are just only 2k behind. It's not that great, not that much, but overall when it comes down to the team fights, it's still a bit too massive and disorganized. They need to make sure that everyone stays alive for their perfect engage to happen.
The Twin Shadow does come out and Gloria is called out, but he doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter because he's so tanky. But now we have reached the 40-minute mark, and this is where Gloria or Lee Sin itself will start to fall back. And this might be a problem because what he can do in this at its time, he's just to dragon kick someone away, and that's about it.
He needs to be tanky for a team. He needs to complete the runic Bovak very soon as well. And here we will see though the pressure coming onto mid lane once again. And Stray is just going to push the top. As we mentioned, the speed pushing all day and then teleport into mid lane. Hopefully this will work out well. You can see Tofu is just taking the damage from Kaylin. He has the... he actually didn't complete the Frozen Heart. It's actually an Omen and then the Icebound Gauntlet.
The amount of shields coming out from Team Secret is so much that he doesn't even get any damage. But here comes the engage onto the mid lane. And Gloria comes in, a great ultimate there by Orianna. Will trap everyone out, but everyone will just disengage there and everyone will have their lives intact.
Because Stray did teleport in onto the tower, so they all decided to fall back, but the minions will pick up the tower for the top lane for the side of Nothing to Lose, which is a great pickup. But the problem in this team fight will be Crescendo is down, Explosive Casket is down as well, and only Slicing Millstorm is up and ready, so they're going to have to give up this tower.
Another great rupture there. The Slicing Millstorm does get popped. He is not able to use his Zonias. He does use it in the last minute, but he will go down for sure. He doesn't stun anybody. But here comes Tofu Alex. He's just so tanky that he doesn't really care. The Rolling Thunder comes in. The rupture does stand, and that will be one dead Caitlyn. The officer Caitlyn not gonna be able to save him, but here comes the whole team just crumpling up. He's unable to walk anywhere. And look at that Akun. He flashed into a true shot barrage. There had a little bit of style points there, and that would be an ace for Team Secret.
Yes, and here we might see the game come to an end because they are all have very long death timers onto them, and we will see Team Secret most probably go for the end game because they do have enough damage as well as Tofu S can just tank the towers right now.
See, this should be no problems. They do have minions there, and this would be the first game going to Team Secret there. Nothing to lose, going 0-1 in the groups, and Secret looking relatively strong.
Yes.
And that's about it. The Nexus will be broken there, and GG coming out from both teams.
And this game though was quite a long game. 43 minutes, we will see the kill difference and things like that. It is not in NTL's favor in terms of everything, but because of actually came up for the kills, the Barons being taken for the side of Team Secret, so they were so far ahead. But as well as the last ace.
Yeah,
but before that, the game was actually very, very fair on and on for both teams.
I think they just got caught out by a little bit there. But the Dragons certainly kept that in game, and Gloria doing a phenomenal job by stealing away the second dragon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. And the overall coordination, as you mentioned, execution-wise, was not great for the sub Nothing to Lose for this game. I suppose because they had to use their sub, they haven't been, and this lineup has been new to them. They weren't able to have enough practice to play off how they would normally play so far, as we've seen during the Rookie League finals. So hopefully, for other games, they'll be able to perform well as well.
Doesn't get easier from this end because it will be Kuala Lumpur Hunters coming out for them, and
yes.
It'll be interesting.
Well, we will see just how well they perform later on from the score. So here we will see though, overall 23-6-62 in terms of the score for the side of Team Secret. They managed to score a lot of kills, and for the side of the distribution of kills though, it did go to quite the correct Tungus. Volibear seeing a lot of the kills actually because he does have the high burst damage coming up. But for the side of Nothing to Lose, all the kills mainly went to Caitlyn. It was a great addition. She got the early damage as well as the early advantage she needed as an AD carry, but it just wasn't enough.
It wasn't valid as ham, but it wasn't enough. And I think the next game we will be showing you guys will be Secret against
Team Forever Alone.
Team Forever Alone. Team Forever Alone, for those who don't know, is actually the runner-up from King of the Hill South. Yeah, the runner-up from King of the Hill South. And it'll be interesting to see because not many teams know about them.
But they did win as well, so it's going to be interesting to see how well they perform. They did play against Kuala Lumpur Hunters. We will get the match updates, the score updates very soon from both teams, and then we'll update you guys on what happened throughout, as well as the MVPs and overall score for both games.
I think we'll go to a really short break now, guys, so keep it, just
stay tuned. We'll go for a short commercial break to prepare the whole list of games as well as everything else. So do stay tuned. I'm Sarah Tables.
I'm Camouflage, and don't touch that browser.
Music is a really powerful tool. We use this for Freljord to capture the identity, the compelling history, and some kind of the feel of the whole territory, this icy tundra and this icy place where growing up and living is a really, really difficult thing. The coolest part about being a composer at Riot Games is that every single day I can just walk through the rows of the art department. There's so much inspiration for everything. It instantly gives you this desire to create something that picks this up and is as unique and as compelling as these visuals. So I called up Alex Temple and Sebastian Ajan from Hollywood Scoring, and we sat down and started to develop this idea of Freljord's music.
The music of the Freljord map is built on this steady march rhythm that we feel has a weight that really helps you feel like you're in the middle of a battle.
We felt like the very typical orchestral elements and instruments don't fully give us the best idea of what Freljord can be like.
Imagine that you have axes and swords and shields in your hands, and in your free time between slaughtering everyone, you found this tree and you play on it.
We tried to think a little more outside the box and come up with our own ideas for what the instruments from that place should sound like. For example, a nyckelharpa, which is a really old traditional instrument from Sweden. It's a bowed string instrument, but it's keyed, so it has this very, very unique tone to itself that actually sounds a little icy when you listen to it on its own.
I think this instrument talks to your soul, and when it hits certain notes, you actually feel it inside.
The viola da gamba is some kind of a medieval version of the cello, and it also has a rougher tone. It doesn't sound as developed. The Freljord tribes are led by the three sisters, Ash, Sejuani, and Lysandra, and having female vocals made a lot of sense to us. So we had an Irish singer here.
We went for a non-classical type of voice, the type of voice that is better suited to convey the rugged and raw characteristics of Freljord.
We also brought on Lisa Thorne, who was a graphic designer at Riot Games and who sang the Diana piece. And she was kind enough to lend us her voice here again. The moment when we were done and we threw all these different instruments and sounds together, it just clicks. You're just standing there and you're just like, oh my god.
Is that over the next few months and years that we can start to unveil more and more of our world and give you guys a taste of the depth in the stories and the visual exploration that we've been doing in the last few years in a way that will expose more of the League of Legends universe.
My name is Hanchuan from Broski. I am top laner. My name is Kashi. The tanks Lee. I am a support player. I'm Kunsheng in Kunchong. Player is Eddie Carey. My name is Yishang WC. I'm playing as a jungler. Victor, because I love the laser. Sinch, because it cannot fast. Lulu, because of her unique abilities. Caitlyn, she has long range. My favorite champion is Lydia, because it is OP. I feel happy and excited because it's an achievement in my lifetime. I feel happy because this is my first time to be a champion. champion in the tournament. It was a good experience. You don't get to feel that always. Kuala Lumpur Hunters. Team KTHXBAI because they are one of the best teams in Malaysia. KTHXBAI because they are our rivals and know our strength and weaknesses. Kuala Lumpur Hunters because they are professional team. 70% because we are the top 4 team in Malaysia. 50% because I am confident in my teammates. It may be difficult until we stop throwing each other. Possible if we could beat KTH. It's going to be difficult to lose. Thanks A Station for sponsoring our team. Thanks to our sponsor A Station. Thank you A Station for inviting all LoL players. Thanks Garena and A Station. Thanks to A Station and Garena.
My name is Chow Golden Man, and my role is Midland.
My name is Vincent Red Sun Lu, and I play as a support in the team.
My name is Wilson Tinterwan Shin. I'm playing for the top lane.
My name is Lance Valence Chan. I'm playing support in my team.
My name is David SSS Soon. I play jungle.
My favorite champion is Nidali because of her hyper.
My favorite champion is Udyr because he has various type of play style.
My favorite champion is Renaton because he is very tanky.
My favorite champion is Caitlyn because she has the long range and hard sweeper.
My favorite champion is Nunu because his laugh is ha 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 ha.
I feel so good when we won the KTH Central region.
I feel very proud of myself for winning KOTS because it meant a lot to me.
I'm not really satisfied because I think we can do a lot better.
I think the biggest competition for us is Team Secret.
Team Secret because they team for quite a long and I believe their teamwork is good.
Team Secret because they all are fantastic.
Team Broski because they have the best synergy at bottom lane, that is Jeong and Hakane. The biggest competitor will be ourselves because if we do well, we will win.
I think we will grab the higher chances for winning the spring season final in 2013.
I think if we perform well, we sure will secure the win.
I think we should have no problem winning the competition unless we make any serious mistake.
And I would like to thank my parents, friends, and teammates because they all are my motivation.
I would like to thank my family, my teammates, and friends for being so supportive.
I would like to shout out to Jessica, Wing Wing, and Kajun for their support.
I would like to thank my family, my teammates, and my friends for being so supportive. Because it drives me to be better, and it meant a lot to me. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Rich Barack Obama,
Tofu Alex, Tender Ones,
XSF,
Tender one,
Tofu Alex,
Tofu Alex,
Zed,
Tofu Alex,
Tofu
Hello and welcome back to the Spring Season Finals 2013. So we saw a fantastic game in the early stages. So before we move on, I'm your caster for today. I'm Ted Tivers, and with me is the famous Camouflage.
Don't think I'm as famous as you, but before we start the next game, we'll just bring you a recap of what happened.
Yes, and also we would like to show you the scores of what happens for the previous two games. So can we just get the scores up? Hopefully it's
Producer,
magically.
you can do it.
Yes, come on, new guy, you can do it.
Well,
Okay, he's I think he's DC my motivation is like screw you
Yeah,
behind the
but-
scenes. So as we are waiting for that, let's go for recap for the first game first.
So
Maybe
yeah,
faster.
Secret actually did beat up Nothing to Lose, while KTHX, as many expected, would won against Forever Alone.
So for the game for Secret, it was about 40 plus minutes. The game for Team Forever Alone against KLH, it lasted for about 25 minutes, and I would have to say Gonus did a great job. He got the MVP. He played Nidali that game, and his spears were phenomenal. I wasn't watching the game, but I heard it was phenomenal. It did a lot of damage. His score ended with 7-0-1, and Nidalis are just so hard to play
His
against. Sometimes.
Goldens, that's why he's regarded one of the best mid laners in Malaysia. And his mid lane is world class, to be honest. We're just waiting for both teams to get into the teams.
Oh, okay. So it's okay. The producer is unable to show the score, so we'll go through that a bit later. Most probably after the game.
Yep.
Hopefully, everything will be fine. I will go and teach him a lesson. No, I'm just joking. Anyway, so we're just waiting for the teams. The second game we're going to cast will be Team Secret once again. They'll be playing against Team Forever Alone. They're having some slight issues, so it's going to be fine overall in terms of what's going to happen. Hopefully, there won't be that many pauses this game. But we're going to move on with the schedule. We had a slight delay because of the pauses, as well as it was a long game for the first game.
Yep.
But it's going to be a fantastic match as well. So early game, we did see Nothing to Lose though. In the previous game, they had a great control of the laning phase. When it came to the mid game, it was a team fight, still a bit messy, not so well coordinated, so it didn't end up so well for them. But for hopefully against Kuala Hunters, they'll be playing against Kuala Hunters.
Yep.
They will not be streaming that game, so hopefully their performance, will be better. Hopefully.
This is actually the second game, Secret and KLH so far still undefeated, but they did play only one game. So the other game for those who don't know is actually Kuala Lumpur Hunters against Nothing to Lose. And
Yes.
we are actually into the Champions League, so let's just jump onto that right now.
Magically. Boom. Okay. And so the
And
bands
there you
are going.
go.
Yes. So for the side of Team Secret, the bands are going to be very standard, I suppose. Once again, it's going to be Shen as their first band.
As I said, not a lot of teams know about Forever Alone, so they're just gonna bat out normal solo queue bans, so to speak.
Yes. I've seen them a few times in, I would say, YOLO queue in terms of, you go rank, you go alone, you just go all the way in. And as well, for the side of normal games, I've seen them play, I would say they're actually a quite decent team so far, at least from what I've been told and seen their performance. So it'll be interesting to see how they'll play off. So I believe they saw the game previously because they're banning Wally Bear, taking it away from WCWS.
Maybe they had an idea that Volleyball was a big factor, but yeah, Sky Cloud actually cheering for Team Forever Alone. Yep, support for your favorite team there.
Yes.
And maybe, who knows, maybe they'll put up an upset and beat Team Secret.
Mhm.
Okay.
So here we will see the second band. Once again, it's going to be Elise. So the the last band is going to be Twisted Fate. For the side of Team Secret, I suppose, if they do not deviate from there. So what do you do with Team Forever Alone ban Cho'Gath though?
And
That's
banning
interesting.
Ezreal. Interesting to see. So they're just basically banning the champions that they played the last game. And I don't think Forever Alone actually did their research on Team Secret. They're just gonna say, "Oh, you played that in the last game," and there you go, Twisted Fate being the last brand on Team Secret side.
But I mean, sometimes I would say they didn't do a homework extensively, but sometimes when you see a team play, if they're doing so well that day itself with those champions, so why not just ban it away?
And for Unknown 940, if they do beat and KTH and Secret still win, we will have a third game to determine who actually will be the top of the group.
Yes, because the last game will be Team Secret versus Qualifier Hunters.
Yep.
So please do not have a three-way tiebreaker. It's gonna break my heart and break my voice for the day. You know, I would like to go home and sleep early. I know games are fantastic to cast and things like that, but yesterday was just a long game for me.
Yeah.
And today hopefully I don't get a super long day as well. And it's going to be a utility jungle once again for the side of WCWS. We see the Maokai being picked up. So
CWS actually really famous with his Maokai too. He's Maokai, Sejuani, and Volibear is his top 3 champions in rank, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yes.
yeah.
I mean, he does play over other jungling champions as well, but these are the 3 he feels most comfortable with. And here we will see there's going to be Caitlyn as well as Trash being picked up.
So straight away, off the bat, just pick the bot lane. They don't want anything else. They want to pick that Caitlyn again away from Akun. Now, with Ezreal and Caitlyn both taken away, what would Akun pick? I'm thinking maybe something like a Varus? Maybe?
I think it would be Graves or Corki. I don't see Akun play that much.
Corki.
Yes, Akun does not play that much Varus. At least to my knowledge so far, I've seen him play. I mean, as the season goes by, you know, not a lot of people play Varus actually. It's still not one of the favorite picks.
Yep. In terms of in the Malaysian side or the Southeast Asian side, they don't really regard Varus as an important pick.
Yes.
So they're still thinking about it. And Alistar, we saw some great plays from Hagane yesterday on Alistar.
I mean, Alistar is one of the underrated support champions. I still underrate him actually. I mean, he is very annoying to deal with. But
there you go.
It's going to be like very tough though for the side of Alistar, because once he goes all in, if his teams cannot follow up with the overall damage, it's not going to be a great support champion to have. So we're going to see how our Team Secret follow us, because in the team fights before this, we've seen their plays. It was very strong, it was very good. So hopefully it is going to be there. So Akun actually going to go out of my expectations. It's going to be a Varus pick. I thought it's going to be Graves or Corki because I've seen him play that much more. But nope, he's going to prove me wrong. He's going to pick up Varus instead.
Yep. Yeah, looks like they're going to twist their fate a little bit by picking up Varus. Just a little pun there.
Yes,
but
we'll see whether that happens.
Gonna try to put as much puns as possible. Make things a little bit
Well, it's okay. That's why it suits your name. You try to hide those puns in the daily sentences and words you use. You know, just add some additional humor.
Secret actually straight away said, "Tove forever alone. You pick your bot lane. I'm gonna pick my bot lane." So they're not gonna show anything else. Maokai,
like it's just like poker. You want to keep your hands as safe as possible. So we might see a jungle Jarvan, and the early game for Jarvan is very important. Whether he can decimate Maokai, because Maokai is a champion that skills so well in the late game in terms of providing utility for a team, being tanky, survivability. Like Maokai has all of those things. He has great CC, great survivability, and great additional survivability for his team with his ultimate.
Yep, Zyra and Diana being the last 2 picks. So you can see that, you know, they want to go for a pick of combat to Team Secret. They have the Chain of Corruption, they have the Grasping Roots, and they have the Moonfall to just catch up with one. But Singe actually getting picked up, and I'm really excited if this actually gets locked in. Because Singe is one of the champions that I hate the most in this game, but it's the one of the best things to see.
It's okay.
Singe running around.
I'm gonna bring up your bad memories.
No.
It's okay, it's okay. For those of you guys who like to know, please ask in the chat, and then hopefully Camouflage will let you know about it.
Yeah, but you know, I don't think they really want to know. They want to know about the game even more. But yeah, I have some bad experience with Singed.
Yes. So Singe is going to be a great pickup in terms of disengaging, or if everyone decides to go all in and not protect Akun, Singe is just going to run in, hey Akun. Well, hopefully he doesn't get hit by chains or corruptions, of course. Just fling him backwards into his team. Or wherever he goes.
Tofu Alex is not playing a tank anymore. He's actually going for Assassin. So it's okay if he's going for Akun, because Tofu Alex still has damage and the Singe does get locked in. And look at that, both top laners picking teleport.
But you see the initiation though will be Twisted Advance or Headbutt Power Rise and then into Luna Moonfall.
Yep. And Moonfall.
Person sweep into the Moonfall. You know, I guess quite Luna Moonfall. I don't know. It just sounds like a great combination to say. Just
Luna rush into a Moonfall. Yeah, it's quite hard to say. But in Teams Forever Alone's point of view, they're going for something like a catch comp. They want to catch one out, and the whole team can just erupt onto that one member. With Lux,
I would say it's actually a lock in with the Lux burst and then Singe
Singe does
running
what
around.
Singe does. He goes where he pleases.
Yes. Well, some advice from I think it was X Special said no. I think a few members would say like not most advice you would give to people would be don't change Singe. But I remember someone wrote an article and then one of the tips was
Chase Singe.
yes, chase Singe. Just chase Singe. In the end, you be finally know how to get up, chase up onto him. Especially with the nerfs and changes onto Singe, he does not have the crowd control reduction anymore. It's much more easier to catch and kite nowadays, but still not one of the things you want to go all in onto. Definitely.
Yeah, but I can see. Well, after looking at the team comps of both teams, who do you think has an upper hand? Just in terms of team comp, disregard the playing skills or the mechanics of both teams.
I'll still give it to Team Secret though, or this Team Com though. Because in terms of AoE lockdown and protecting the AD carry, they have everything in it. Because it depends on how you want to save your core control. If they don't let Alistar engage, he'll be able to stop Singe or Jarvan from jumping in entirely into the team. Even if Cataclysm lands, maybe Akun will not be able to dodge the Lux lasers as well as the light bindings and things like that. But still, he will be able to push Jarvan and Singe away, and the damage follow-up will not be there.
Yeah, but you can see Akun is actually forced to play something out of his comfort zone. As you said, he's famous for his Caitlyn. He's okay with his Azure as we saw in the last game.
Yes.
But like you even said, you didn't expect him to pick Varus at all. You thought it was going to be a Corki. But I guess he just wasn't cocky enough to pick it.
Okay, so I'm going to take a look at Cake Factory's runes actually, because it's a cake factory.
Who doesn't like a cake factory?
Yes, who doesn't like a cake factory? And he's playing Singe. So I'm just interested to see some of the players how they go for Singe, because some go for the additional AP per level and things like that. But nope, it's going to be much more tanky. It's called Choo Choo Math or Choo Choo Math, I suppose. It's actually
censored. No, you're not gonna show that.
Oh wow, okay, never mind. Anyway, so
they just call it Choo Choo Math. He
Yes,
just
Choo Choo
loves
Math.
math a lot.
So here we will see the movement speed queens, which is quite normal, I would say, but some people go for the flat ability power instead. And for the monks, it's going to be magic pen, the standard builds, and then the flat armors with the magic resist stacking up. So nothing out of the ordinary, but for the side of masteries, it's
What? Oh my god!
I hope this is a bug.
Is he pulling a hot shot GG right now?
I hope this is a bug because it shows
I don't
0.219
I don't
Singe,
think it's a bug because
but he has no points.
so the secret to playing Singe right now, Cake Factory just showed us. The secret to playing Singe is go 0, 0, and 0.
I'm going to check his stats when the game begins to actually see whether this is true, and he does not realize it. I think this is I don't know. This is like one of the
No,
biggest mistakes
this is
he can do.
Teddy, let me tell you, this is the secret of mastering Singe.
You
Be
must
the troll. Go 0, 0, and 0, and you'll own the whole match.
Why not go without runes as well?
That would be too obvious, you see. Magic, Masteries, you're still not really sure. But wow, 0, 0, and 0.
I just the game enters right in. I'm going to check.
Let's
that
just
stats.
say that he actually goes 0.219 because his room page is actually named 0.21.
Got nice Singe, yes.
So Singe being Singe there.
I mean, we will see if he has the magic pen percent. He will have the tenacious. Because 0.19 for Singe, you want to take Relentless as well as tenacious, so people can't stop you. I do pray though that it has been taken. If not, this is going to be a stomp. Especially since Tofu Alex is up top. He is on Diana, but he lands his squeezes to like
Why am I getting so much damage?
yes, it's like wow, it's like free damage.
Where's
and-
my extra 6 magic resist?
Yes, everyone saying who needs masteries and 0 Singe.
It's the secret to playing Singe, Teddy. I'm telling you. Later you see he goes like
is it?
like no 9, 0, and 1, and they'll be like, oh god. I need to use that.
Okay, if it does happen, I would like to see you really use that in the ranked games.
Anyway, we are actually into the loading screen now. So wow, interesting to see the whole team actually doesn't have skins. Well,
Oh, there's one skin on both. Oh, there's actually 3 skins on Team Forever Alone and only 1 skin on the side of Team Secret. They have the Totemic Maokai.
Maokai it is. But obviously skins doesn't give you an extra effect. Except for the Black Frost Anivia skin.
Really? Are you gonna keep talking about that?
But yeah. So, do you think a level 1 invade will be possible for both teams? I'm gonna say
It's possible
that,
for both teams.
yeah, both teams actually has really strong level 1 CC. In the terms of Lux, they have the light binding the flip, and even the trash hook. In terms of Team Secret, they have the hail of arrows, the moonfall, the grasping ropes, the hit, but the pulverize. I'm sorry. So yeah, both teams has the CC. They can invade.
Yes.
So I'm
But-
gonna say, Team Forever Alone needs to go to make something happen. They know their mechanics are not up to par with Team Secrets. I'm sad to say. So they need to get some sort of level 1 advantage from this.
And not only that, we will see though whether if the engage. Okay, we're gonna check onto a Singe right now. So it's a pause happening, but
Can't really see that.
it's
But
I can't really see it
having
yet. But,
the legendary pause, as if you guys don't know, whenever
but based on his armor and magic resist, I'm going to say he does not have any masteries.
yeah, if he has, yeah, wait, yeah, I think
Because
so.
his magic resist, he took like only 5 flat or
He has
4.7
zero
flat.
penetration. Yep, he has.
But he's
no
going for
mastery.
he's going for 0.219. So it's either he gets the points in tenacity or in the armor and things like that, but it's not I mean they don't show tenacity, but based on his armor and magic resist. Because if he did take the points in magic resist, which he should, he's going against Diana, he should take additional 6 points.
Yep.
And from the runes we saw earlier, he should have 41 magic resist, and this is just 35. And
Good
and-
luck, Cake Factory. That's
yes,
all
good
I
luck.
have to say. Good luck.
I hope he realized he has made a mistake somewhere. I'm not sure. Hopefully this ends up well for him. Good luck, K Factory.
Good
You know,
luck.
you're gonna show the world what Tofu X in diamond, but I don't need any masteries. Doesn't matter at all.
What? Diamond? Poof, no, challenger. What?
Challenger, yes. Tofu X is currently a challenger.
You can see
also.
both teams actually sticking together. So I'm thinking that they will want to invade. They do put a ward in their own rev up, and they will be going to the enemy blue, I presume.
Yes, and here we will see Southeast Secret. They are going to go to the enemy's blue as well. So they're not gonna meet onto each other. But no ward's being planted from the side of Team Secret though. So if Team Forever Alone decides to go back to blue buff, they won't be able to spot this
Both
out.
teams actually mimicking their moves exactly. Both teams there, just camping out, just see if they can catch anyone. I
Yes.
don't think they'll meet each other at
I
all.
would say these are more exciting beginnings compared to yesterday's games. Yesterday's games, in terms of the early stage, all teams played quite safe. If I'm not wrong, there were no heavy invades.
Oh, Singe. I'm just still astonished that Singe has 0-0-0 right now.
Okay, it's gonna be the best show ever.
Imagine that he goes 0-0-0 and still wins the game.
We will see.
But yeah, Forever Alone not doing anything, and Secret is actually gonna steal the blue buff. And Daisuke, he might actually use the route to go back to the bot lane, and he will catch on to 4 Secret members right here.
Nope, they're actually gonna play very safe, walk back slowly. So I would say Team Secret will have the better invade,
Yep, you can
so
see.
to speak. They're gonna click off the wolf. No, actually not gonna clear the camp, which is quite rare nowadays. But they're gonna move on to the blue buff, and then, well, that is it.
I think WCWS will look for an early gank in the bot lane because the CC that Alistar brings is so strong, and accompanied with the grasping,
Twister Advance.
and Arcane Smash, it would be a sure kill. Even though that guy flashes, it still should be a sure kill.
But he did not pick up Twisted Arcane Smash because he did pick Saplings instead, if you know. So I don't think he will go for the early gank. For the early gank, we really need the Twisted Advance as well as Arcane Smash, as you
He'll
mentioned.
take the red buff, and that will make him hit level 3.
Yes.
And that will signal a gank, maybe.
Yes.
And now,
Javan knows that his blue has been taken, does not even opt to check it, just walks away after clearing the. Or if I go for a fight, go check your blue, throw a flag, please.
the flag is on cooldown. There is a sapling there actually, so he has something to kill.
You can't kill a sapling.
And there you go, he just suicides. He's like, oh, I can't kill. But here comes WCW. Yes, he might get caught. The combo does he is forced the flash, and that is an advantage for Team Forever Alone right off the bat.
Yes, but it's going to be. I would say it's a good flash from WCWS. If he hesitated a bit more, if he got hit by the binding, it would have. They would have given the double buff most probably to Diabolic in the early stage.
And yeah, I can see. Again, no lane swaps that I thought would happen.
Oh, look at the chunk of damage going on the Cake Factory. The Tofu X realized something is wrong.
Factory's like, why am I getting so much damage? Something must be wrong. Maybe it's the 0-0-0 mastery kicking in. But Alistar has hit level 2, and I expect to see a headbutt pulverize combo relatively soon.
I believe that the tanks will play much more safe because if you go all into trash, you're just gonna eat the death sentence. You're gonna eat the free flail, which will pull
Here
you.
comes the
further.
light binding mid lane, actually getting tons of damage getting traded between the two laners, and both actually getting low. But one thing to note there is that Lux has a lot of health pots and mana pots. well, Zyra has a lot of them too, but what is Zyra actually doing right now?
He just went. He went to plant the ward at the lane here to try to spot anything. So because Jarvan's ganks are very scary, so to speak, for all the mid laners, especially if you don't have a great escape. As Zyra, if you miss your roots, you're gonna instantly get burst down with the overall combination from Lux and Jarvan. So here we will see the tanks go in.
Combo, but they do not expect it. They did not expect a Jarvan. The exhaust does come in. The red bar slow will get proc. Will he be forced to flash? Yes, he will. The flash from Trash will not be enough, but WCWS is actually in the wings and they will not dive onto the turret.
So great beginning once, as you mentioned, for the side of Team FA in terms of burning a lot of flashes on the side of Team Secret. So they need to be wary and careful of where to decide to move on and where they will go from this.
See that Alistar actually picking up a little bit more wards, and he picked up two pink wards. So they really want to deny the vision in the brush, so Alistar can pull off that perfect pulverize and headbutt combo. Oh sorry, headbutt pulverize combo. Got things a little mixed up there, but no problems. Look at that. Let's look at the CS early on. Surprise, surprise! Lux is actually ahead of CS.
So Lux does have the additional poke and burst to push Zyra away. Zyra really needs to stack up a lot of levels first before she really becomes the potent, as well as her plants be able to do that much damage, because it does scale with level as well. So it is something that Hidden Blade would need in order to be effective, because Zyra's overall damage was slightly nerfed, I believe, because it was doing too much damage, especially the grasping roots in the past. So right now they are forced to max a first skill instead of the third skill because I remember in the previous patch you mentioned that people are just maxing the grasping roots, getting the additional root time with the plants sitting onto them, and then it's just chunk of slow damage. It's not a high burst, but just slowly chipping the opponent down. And when it goes to high level, it's like almost a burst damage that people can't run away from.
An impression here, making an impression in the lane so that they will not dive onto Caitlyn. We saw that the tanks actually putting on some pressure on Daisuke on the bot lane. They do know that when Alistar does actually land a combo, it's going to be really, really dangerous. Impression trying to put in a little bit of damage onto Akun just to scare him off a bit. But no problems there. And Tofu Alex, look at that Crescent Streak. Doing so much damage onto that Singed.
Since he has off for the tier of Goddess, so he's going to be happy in terms of just stacking up slowly from the HP.
The tanks actually does get caught into the ball lane. Daisuke was forcing, but actually Maokai is going to grasping roots into Impression. Will drop at this. Well, he doesn't have his flash, and it's a first blood for Akun.
Yes, so it was actually a bait preparation for WCWS, I'll have to say. The tanks went in, he took the death sentence, but he was tanky enough to come out, so he did choose a tankier champion this time. Not so easy bursted down before, just like Lulu.
The tanks being tanky enough.
Yes, your favorite pun for today.
The pun of the day. A lot more coming to your way, don't worry. But we are actually casting all secret games, so yeah, stay tuned. The next game that we're casting would be KLH against Team Secret. That one would be a one to watch, obviously, because both teams highly regarded in the competitive scene, in Malaysia at least.
It would be a sort of revenge match, because in the early this year we had the Carnival as well, and it was Team Secret playing against KLH in the show match, and the Team Secret was crushed by KLH, I'll have to say. So here we will see, though, obviously WS trying to go for the smite steal. He does have the ward though, he might be able to pick it up, but FA actually being very cautious and going to take this very slow and steady. So WCWS is actually just waiting.
And look at that, Since just teleport onto the, but
he's going to go for the smite steal.
It would be a 4v5. Diana teleporting in, and look at the damage coming out from Diana. Just an Asian, just being an Asian and walking away like usual. Impression. Oh, the headbutt for Rice does get missed. He does use his full rush into the turret, but everyone will be safe, and no trades will happen at all.
So
they just take the wheel, and why not take a dragon too, because they do know it is a 4v5. Sinch did expand his teleport to go back into lane, and Diana caught an edge of that, and I do not think Jarvan will be anywhere near this. And it's a great job there by Secret, having an advantage earlier.
But they were not able to secure the kills because the tanks missed his combo. Bad support, just saying. But still, they will be able to manage to secure the dragon, a team objective. So it will push them up further in advantage in terms of overall goal. And Diana actually did not lose out that much CS. So the tanks is going to get hooked. Oh, the side step because the ward did spot him.
A great side step that, but I don't think they would result in anything if he did actually get hooked.
Okay, it was just nice to see.
Yeah. Yeah, but while that was happening, Singe actually pushed up to the top lane, and Diana will be just missed out on an entire wave of EXP that would come into effect relatively soon if.
Nope. Actually, no, because if you look at the CS difference though, Diana is still ahead.
Yeah, but
That's why there's Dragon.
alright.
I mean, if it's just one wave, the Dragon will count. I would say negate that. But if it's like 3 waves or 2.5 waves stacking up there, then there's something you need to be worried about. Because Diana did manage to push the lane before she teleported down, so she don't lose out that much.
See, the goal lead in the 10-minute mark is already 2k. This is not as close as we saw in the previous game where the goal lead was neck and neck throughout the whole game.
So the Asian is actually
Asian.
just an Asian. Okay, I would like to call it the Asian because the name just is.
Just an Asian coming to the top lane, being an Asian he will try to camp this top lane. Tofu Alex caught himself in a 2v1 position. He will Lunar Rush back in. The red bar prop will come in. Mega Adhesive was expanded. The flash does come in. The Moonfall will stop dying in this track. And look at the Crescent sweep.
Yes, and perfect play by Tofu Alex, I would have to say.
Showing that he is a challenger tier player, of course.
And Lux, though, as that was happening, I was so wanting to see Lux did manage to steal the last hit with his laser on the blue buff. Yes.
It is something to note, but I don't think a blue buff is. Yeah, it does give you a little bit of
advantage. A great advantage for Lux, and Zyra also, who needs a lot of mana. With the pressure coming out from Lux, he will not be able to leave the lane.
But one thing to note, even if Singe goes 0 and 5 in the lane, he will still be a nuisance in the teamfight. But wow, he actually flipped Tofu X into the turret there, but he did not get anything.
Yes.
Yep.
So just damage sustained all and all overall, but we will see though Singe actually losing out quite a bit. He is forced to go back a lot to procure and buy the items in order to come back and sustain in the lane. And Tofu X is just really farming with the 2 Dawn's rings and the flask. He's just sustaining back so much more. He has not even used the mana pot and health pot he bought in the beginning of the game so far.
You can see now, let's look at the CS at the 10-minute mark. You can see at the top lane, obviously Diana has been bullying that Singe around, which you would expect. Singe isn't the best laner in the world, so he is around 20 CS behind. But at the mid lane and bot lane, Team Forever alone has been doing really well for themselves. There is a mid lane CS of 20, and Caitlyn has been able to catch up, or just keep up to par in CS.
But Akun did get the first blood, so he's quite far ahead, I would say, because you can see from the BF sword being procured as well as the
Trash just missing his hook there. The death sentence couldn't connect with the other stuff.
So here we received weird combo from Dire Blade just to chunk down Hidden Blade, maybe?
Here comes WCWS again. Now, would they bait this out again? I think so, but look at that top lane. That Lunar Rush combo doing so much damage onto that Singe.
It's just in terms of trading of hits, we will see that Tofu Alex knows exactly how he should get in and get out. So it's not actually trading so much damage. It's like on par. Even though Singe normally when he goes in for the fling and you are alone, he normally wins the trade overall.
I just don't see Cake Factory doing a lot in the laning phase. What he can do now is to just farm it out, try to not die, and wait for a team fight.
Yes, he needs to stack up all the stacks on his Tear of the Goddess in order to get the additional HP, and then hopefully I believe he will be building to the Roar of Ages as well to be much more tanky for the team.
And just missing the death sentence, wasn't able to convert it to a death paragraph, like how Sid Freak would actually say. But yeah, yes. Lux is actually being able to do really good for himself. He's ahead in CS. And you know what? He's a little bit of ahead in items too. So,
but the next dragon will spawn in the next 2 minutes or so. With Team Forever will try to contest for it. And here the Crescent Strike is going to miss. And we might see, Tofu X is still going to go in because he still had the shield on. He wants to make sure he gives Cake Factory a lot of damage and he is forced to fall back once again.
Singe popped Insanity Potion because he wanted to flip Diana into turret range, because the mid laner actually was here. And here comes WCWC as he might be able to steal it. Oh! The Golem actually helped the Javan hit the damage onto the ward. So yeah.
He's one thing. But because Javan did go for the Majoret's Claw, he did get the additional bonus magic attack that happened. And that's why he was able to clear that blue buff much faster. But he was forced to smite it. So Lux will not be able to get his blue this time, but will he be able to snipe off the opponent's blue once again, which is, I would say, the next thing to look out for.
But here comes WCWS actually meeting Javan face to face, but he's just gonna walk out. A 3 against a king, I don't think he wants that trade.
Hey, if you read Maokai's law, he 1v6, okay, in the Twisted Tree line when he was born.
Okay.
You should go read. He crushed all the champions there.
This is totally irrelevant of our game right now, but obviously, Teddy wants to show his knowledge of the law. But
Hey, the laws are interesting. You should go read, understand more about this game, about all your champions, and you love this game even more.
you can see that Impression hasn't really been doing a lot at that bot lane. I haven't seen a death sentence actually hit onto an enemy yet, sad to say.
Oh, he did get. He
Here
did
comes the
hit on him
teleport
a bit.
onto the bot lane. Impression will get caught. The Chain of Corruption is there, and the Flay will just try to delay the inevitable. But the teleport from Singe was actually cancelled there. Smart choice. He would have not fancied the 4v1, and the dragon just spawned.
Yes, so great timing from the side of
Secret.
Team Secret, and they're going to move on to the dragon. They do plant the ping wall, but they're not dewarding it. I'm not sure why. They're just going to chunk onto the dragon. Wow.
There you go,
really.
Akun just picks up the ward. But like we said in the pre-champion select, but here comes Lux. Actually might want to try and steal this. The steal comes in. Yes, the smite steal over the wall. What a great job there by
It's
Jarvan.
actually a flag
No,
steal.
he flagged to gain
No,
vision.
it's a flag steal.
Okay,
You
maybe.
can see from the smite, it's not on cooldown.
Okay.
The range is too far to smite over the wall. I'm a jungler, I know what I'm talking
Sorry,
about.
I'm just really bad at this game, but yeah, what a great steal. Now that just gave Forever Alone a glimpse of hope that they did come back. But look at that top lane. Even though Singe was, struggling at the top lane, he has been able to farm because Diana has been roaming around to the bot lane and such. And the whole purpose of going to that bot lane was to secure Dragon. But at the end, Dragon was taken by a great flag steal by Jarvan.
Yes.
And the whole purpose of teleporting bot lane was just ruined there.
So the flag at only at level 3 though, so
WCWS,
the flag steal.
but finally a death sentence does hit onto Akun, but he will not do much there. But look at that. Caitlyn is actually one level ahead of Akun. I think this is because that
Because Impression is at level 6.
No, this is because Impression has been roaming around up and down. Let me just...
Yeah, so I mean there's one thing to note. It's actually possible to smite over the wall. There is an animation bug. I've seen it happen before for the Baron side where you flash into the wall, you reach into the range, you can smite, but you push back by the wall later. But you must use flash.
Yeah, it's just really, really close. There is a possibility, just a small possibility there.
There was one video that was shown before. It was a Baron save actually from Nautilus, if I'm not wrong. I don't remember the name of the video, but it was one of the top plays. It's possible to do it, just that you need to use flash and smite at the same time.
Just a
It's
little bit
very
of bug,
tricky
but
type.
here comes WWS onto the bot lane. As you can see, they do not have any wards on the side of Team Forever Alone. They have, in terms of the river, they don't have any wards, but in the brush, it is obviously heavily warded. They are afraid of the Alistar presence, and WCWS does recognize that he is going to the river. He was not spotted by Impression, and he might actually get caught. But here comes Jarvan with the lantern. This might be a perfect bait. The death sentence does miss, but the box is expanded. They do get the slow onto the tanks and Maokai, but this is not a fight that Forever Alone does fancy. The exhaust does come in. Akun charges his piercing arrow and brings down Jarvan. Nobody is caring about that trash because he doesn't do any damage. A great flame knocks back 3 of them. The sentence, the flash into pulverize does knock out 2 of them. And can Trash survive? The unbreakable wheel making the tanks even tankier than he already is.
Just taking a lot of damage.
There was actually a teleport from Singe, but Singe was instantly brought down by the sheer amount of damage from Secret.
Yes, but we did see it was a trade up top. Singe was actually brought to 50% health or lower. I'm not sure why he teleported down, but Lux did travel up to secure the kill onto Tofu Alex instead of going to the bot lane. So it's going to be, well, a 4 for 1 trade actually in the favor of Team Secret, and Team Secret will take the tower together as well.
And at the end, the tanks was just way too tanky.
Yes, he had the unbreakable wheel.
To be tanky.
Yes.
Oh.
Anyway, moving on from those parts. So here we will see Diana. Oh, is he picking up Zhonya's? I thought Diana would be going for a Deathfire Grasp because he did get the Nemesis Large Rod and I saw the Amplifying Tomb. I thought it would be a pretty cool, I suppose, of showing that it would be a Deathfire Grasp because he wants to burst Singe down and assassinate him before he uses ultimate. But nope, it's going to be a Zhonya, so we might see a lot more dice and initiating of team fights coming out from the side of Team Secret. They do have the great initiative from Maokai, Alistar, and now they have Diana with Sonya. So Diana is just gonna go all in into all these things.
Let me note one thing that we noted in the earlier game. Siege didn't have any masteries, but he's actually not doing that bad. He's on, yeah, he is 30 CS behind, but he wasn't really dying a lot. And the point of going 0-21-9 masteries is that you be a lot of tanky so you won't die. So
Yes.
he's been doing well for himself, honestly, with the 0-0 masteries.
Of course, your Singe, you have the mana, you have free HPs. There's one good thing about Singe, even without masteries, you still are a troll.
Don't do that, guys.
Don't
You're
do
just
that.
giving yourself a disadvantage. Look at the Lunar Rush damage coming out. Just so much damage. He has 120 magic resist when he pops the Insanity Potion, but I don't think it's enough.
I mean, for now it's enough because Diana is not stacking up that much of damage, more of survivability. Because if you go for first item Zonias, not Abyssal Scepter or Death Cap, it's just going to mean you're going for more team fight orientated build. Sorry.
And Dragon will be spawning in relatively soon. Fetch is in 1 minute time, so Dragon will be the contest of 4 teams again. We saw a great steal from just an Asian at the Dragon.
With a flag. I'm like, that's the worst thing you could get a steal off. I think WCW's panic. He saw the laser, he smited too early, it wasn't enough, and the flag just came out to the last year. I'm like, those are the things. If you get stolen by a global ulti, you won't feel so bad because the damage is acceptable. But it got stolen by the Martian standard. It's like it got stolen by a flag, and the Martian flag took a dragon away from you.
It's like getting candy from a baby, honestly. That feeling.
Yes. It's like you're like taking candy from a baby. It's like they prepared everything for you.
Here,
That's it. Here,
take it away.
Take it away.
The Demaster flag does like 300 damage, and that was enough. But you can't really blame WCWS, It's not really the easiest thing when the Lux laser and everything is on Dragon. It's quite hard to smite it. But he has a chance to redeem himself here because the Dragon is spawning within the next few seconds. But both top laners... Oh wait, Diana has teleport, but Singe doesn't.
Yes, because Singe did use his one earlier. I mean, a bit later than Diana in comparison. And he doesn't have the masteries for the cooldown reduction. So
It's already 21 minutes, but Singe doesn't have his Rod of Ages yet. This is a really big problem. Now, here comes Lux again. Will WCWS be able to steal it? Yes! Lux does get the steal again. WCWS, you're 0 for 2 in terms of smiting for Dragon. And what a play there by Diabolic.
Okay, I'm going to make fun of WCWS now because I can. See, Smite has 760 true damage, and Lux Laser only has 510 magic damage. How can you miss that? That is like a disgrace, I have to say.
Hold that thought there. Look at that. Kick Factory bullying Tofu Alex around at the top lane, showing that 0-0 masteries do work on Singe. And he...
See, stop promoting that, please.
It's just so funny. But yeah, Singe really needs to get that ROA really, really quickly.
Yes.
And for Razor Swan, this competition is not held at the A station. It's actually online. But I think most probably Secret would play in the A station because that is their sponsor.
Yes, that is their sponsor. So I only mentioned about A Station because Team Secret should be playing that.
Yeah, because it's
So if vote for you, who are in Kampa, you can go and disturb them,
Just go them and cheer them on. Go tell WCWS how bad he is at smiting.
Yes, scold him for smiting, We should make a meme for WCWS,
Like, with his face.
I miss smite all day. Anyway, so yeah, I just...
We're just joking around, obviously. He is one of the best junglers in Malaysia. If not, Team Secret wouldn't even pick him up. He has been playing this game for a relatively long time, and he's bound to make some mistakes here and there.
He's getting complacent because he sees their heads like, it's like, as you mentioned, he's just giving giving candies to babies right now. He is not taking this too seriously. He's just like, here, free candy, take the dragon.
These dragons are actually keeping Forever Lone in this game.
Yes.
With the money they have. But here comes Diana with the Crescent Strike. Will it be enough? I don't think so. Look at the damage. He's just going to run around. He's just going to do what Siege does best.
And Diabolic is in a bad position. He's pincered by 3 champions. Oh, but he will
Great flash there by Diabolic there. Yeah, a great flash by Diabolic to get himself out of position. And, everything's fine. One thing we haven't stressed enough in this game is that Diabolic has been doing really, really well for himself. And here comes Tofu X. He does pop Kick Factory. The Lunar Rush, will it be enough? He does pop Insanity Potion. The passive from Diana will bring him down. And it is a great solo. Okay, this is going to be really funny. But if he actually got the extra 6 magic resist from the Masteries, he would survive.
As well as the...
And here comes the great combo. The Hidden Blade will not go down there. A great block from WCWS.
It's the Vengeful Millstorm. as well as the block from the WS did help keep Hidden Blade alive. So Zyra is one of those champions that are very squishy. You need to be very careful of where you position yourself, but still, it's going to be great in terms of what just happened. Because Lux ulti is down, they can continue to siege onto the tower without worrying about the final spark. They have the short period of time.
Note, I didn't know Maokai's ultimate is called Venture's Willstorm, and I was really surprised you knew that.
I made Maokai, okay? Thank you. Anyway, you can check my season 2 match history.
But to be honest, this game is actually getting out of reach for Forever Alone. They need to make something happen. They need to use their competition into effect. Yes, if this game drags on to the late game, they would have a little bit of an advantage. But here comes the change of Crusher. He does catch on to Diabolic. The box has been expanded. Impression is in a really, really bad situation. And he does pop the flash, but it will not be enough. And Akon is unstoppable.
And here Tofu is going to charging onto the tower. In my opinion, yes, he will secure the kill and use the Zonya after stepping on the trap. But Siege is coming in with the teleport. The bigger adhesive is not enough. He will manage to fling him back, but his team is here for the backup. But without any mana, WCWS is going to back off.
The final spark does catch WCWS at the tail end of it, but the final spark not doing as much damage as I thought.
I mean, Lux is actually going for Roar of Ages, and if you go for Roar of Ages on Lux, you will have great sustain in the lane, but you're going to lose out in overall damage output. So, yeah, it's why it didn't seem so painful, because she finally just went back and bought the Zonya's, what the hell am I talking about? The Rabadon's death cap.
This is Teddy not sleeping for 24 hours.
Yes, so you see, now the burst damage is going to increase so much more because she has procured the ice items, but she didn't have enough money before this. So this is going to be great for the side of FA Diabolic. Those lasers are going to start to hurt. If Maokai does not complete the Runic Bobak soon, his team is going to suffer a lot of damage, and while Aku is actually going for double blood.
Yeah, I wanted to point that out because you don't really see that nowadays. I mean, yeah, in season 2, there was a popular trend that you stack bloodthirsters, you never die. But
yes,
for season 3, it wasn't really advisable because of the Blade of the Ring King and the Morello Nomicon, all those. You know, you can
changes in the items and the nerfs on the bloodthirsters. But I think he wants to play a raid. He's trying to show off a raid. Varus. You know, Varus has raid arrows, so my items need to be raid. So it's going to go for 2 bloodthirsters and then
the Phantom Dancers.
Two Phantom Dancers.
Phantom Dancers are also right here.
Yes.
Right here, Akun is gonna popularize with Raid Varus, guys.
Yes, and also pick up one. She's gonna pick up 2 Phantom Dancer, 1 Villain Hurricane, and get the raid upgrade, which is Furor.
Furor.
So it's gonna be a raid Varus, maybe.
Yeah, he wants, but he will not be tanky enough for the team fight.
So you have 2 bloodthirsters anyway. Moving on, we will see though. Tofu-X once again charging onto Daisuke, but here we will see the entire team follow up. But here Tofu-X will secure the kill and use the Zonyas afterwards with the laser coming from Lux. Nope, she's a bit too far, but Cataclysm is being used and Tofu-X secures the kill, and the laser, yes, will pick it up in the end from the side.
The final spot was enough, and the shutdown go into Diabolic. That's exactly what he needs. He needs more monies, more cash, I guess.
Yes, more gold to help him procure more items, as well as the cooldown reduction needed. And those final spark is going to be the saving grace for the side of Team FA. It's just going to deal so much damage, and she's just going to keep spamming it that the whole team for the side of Team Secret will be unable to push it.
One thing Secret cannot neglect is that the damage that Lux can pull out. He is 253 CS, the highest CS in the game, and he has 2 kills. Even though his whole team has not been doing well, let's just look in terms of goal. He's actually ahead of his counterpart. He has 9.5k goal, while Lux has only 8.2k.
So you mean he has 9.5k goal as Lux, while Zyra has 8.3k. So you also don't have enough sleep. Anyway, just making fun. So this is going to no one to steal. There was no wall there. Oh, Diabolic, if you cast your final spark a bit earlier, you might be able to secure it.
Anyway, Keg Factory taking the other tower, but they are actually over the wall. A great catch there. Will the tanks go down? No, this time he will not be tanky enough.
Oh, he just died.
He will actually run away. The last Dragon Strike will not be enough. And the tanks was tanky enough.
Yes, and here we will see those Siege going to be able to pick it up. Nope, Tofu-X will secure the kill.
The last Crescent Strike will be able to pick it up.
The tanks is listening to what you're saying. He's going to prove you wrong to show how tanky he is on this champion. He's not going to simply just die off for no reason.
The tanks,
he has 0 left still.
He wants to prove to me he is actually tanky enough. But I really need to stop making that joke because getting old. But a great dash sentence coming in. He does use the flame to knock him back. The last, look at the ultimate Wild Growth. actually instantly killing. The final star does pick up the kill. It is so far 1-for-1, but the Lunar Rush does come in. Look at the amount of damage from Tofu Alex. The Chain of Corruption does hit onto the dead Lux body, and he will connect back to Caitlyn, and it is a 4-for-0 trade, a 4-for-1 trade for Team Secret.
So far, here we will see though, Maokai with the mobility boost is refreshing. Will he be able to catch on to Javan, or are they just going to go for the Baron? And yes, they are going to go for the Baron. Please, please don't let the Master Standard steal your Baron.
God.
Oh, that means the
I don't think he's gonna do it, no. Alistar is there just to make sure he doesn't do it at all. And it'll be so funny if he doesn't get it again.
Okay, so here we will see it's going to be a safe Baron, and there's no...
will he get it? Oh, he got it, yeah.
There's no one that is disturbing. If he doesn't get it, you know, there will be like...
God, WS.
Yes, you know, I'm going to strangle... When I go to the compound, I'm going to strangle him and say, hey, making such a bad name for jugglers.
But yeah, I can see that at the 30-minute mark, it is a 12k goalie. It is a really long game. I did not expect this to be such a long game, honestly.
I would say that Team Secret actually pace their games very slow and steady. They want to make sure they secure all objectives and go for the win when they feel that they can win the team fight entirely.
We want to make sure we cast more than 40 minutes for every game. This is the punishment of making fun of the WCWS. Really? Games.
Anyway, so here we will see though, FAW is still in a great position with the overall CS, and its final sparks is doing a lot of damage. So that's why I believe that Team Secret has not go all in onto them yet.
And yeah, you can see that all of them just forever alone just doesn't know what to do at all. They're just hovering around with, they're just trying to turtle it up. But the whole team comm of Team Secret is so good at diving them, at just going to the backline. They have the Maokai, they have the Alistar, and they have the Diana to just rush the backline instantly without any problems. And Diabolic is actually dancing with the F right here. He's standing so just at the edge of the whole skill range. But here comes Tofu X. He does actually go on to the Kick Factory. He actually pops Insanity Potion. But Tofu X is actually still chasing it up. The Mega Adhesive will not slow down Tofu Alex, but he will stop in his pursuit.
So that was a great engage start for the fight, so to speak. But here we see Singe actually going to build more tanky. He's not going to go for AP build. Here's the Omen as well as the Banshee's build for the extra survivability instead of going for the War of Ages. He knew the timing was a bit too late, too long, so he did not want to take the risk instead of going for a more safe pick instead. So hopefully it works out for them. So far, as you mentioned, he has been doing quite great plays for his team so far, and let's hope it continues. The Siege with 0-0-0.
Oh, WCWS just zoning them out. Beautiful play, and they might actually go in for it. The Death Sentence does land on hidden play, but Impression was the only one that went in, and that was not the best idea in the world. Yes, and a great Chain of Corruption does hit Diabolic, the target they want. The Final Spark doing so much damage. The flash from it, the Wild Growth wasn't enough to finish him off. WCWS only has 300 health left, and wow, beautiful. Great disengage.
And here we will see Kick Factory just trolling around. Tovax in the tower. He's taking so many tower hits, but with the Zonias, he will refresh the auto attack damage on the towers, and here he goes back right in, and he will secure the kill.
He will survive that, but look at that. Javan actually walked into 4 people, and he will just get instantly popped by Akun, and Akun is godlike.
Yes, and this is still a fantastic game going on all around, and Kick Factory showing that yes, I can survive all this punishment. Here he with the teleport, he will be
there you go.
No, it's just nice the timing before the tower broke, he came in. I'm quite certain.
But look at the damage that Tofu Alex is putting down. He just cannot withstand Tofu Alex, even though Tofu Alex was well. But look at Hidden Blade gets caught and he gets instant game by Diabolic. Diabolic just being so diabolical there, not letting them go back. An Impression trying to go back, trying to clear some wards, trying to get some vision advantage for his team. One thing to note here is that Lux actually has all the kills on his team. He has not... The whole goal, the whole team is actually revolved around Lux right now. And for the guys asking, did KLH lost? KLH did win the first game against Forever Alone. We'll still bring you the update on the second game. We will tell you as soon as we know what happens. So don't worry about that.
Okay, so I'm going to prove a camouflage wrong, so I went to purposely go to L Wiki to search how teleport works. The tower was about to break point. Okay, here we see the Volek charging in onto Diabolic with the teleport. He will secure the kill, but no, he steps on the trap. In the end, he will manage to take the kill though. But here we will see he's just going to continue the charge of the damage going in with the Lunar Rush. Even the exhaust onto him, look at that damage coming up. It was just so great, so much, too much for Caitlyn to take. And it's going to be a 3 for nothing has changed, which Team Secret really wants because they took down the 2 main carries and they're just going to go in for the win.
And Akun right now is legendary. Akun proving us wrong. He can actually play a really, really good Varus, and his champion pool is just not that small. And do they plan to go end the game? Nope, they are going the safe route, and they will wait for Baron to spawn. Baron will spawn in the next 2 minutes. They will try to take this top tower to just get a little bit more advantage. Caitlyn, Trash, and Lux are still, they are still on cooldown. They still need to wait a couple more seconds there, and I think this tower should be free.
Yes, so here we see Kick Factory trying to go back in, walk in, they try to disrupt, going all in
because Kick
alone
Factory with the Randuin's Armor, he does pop his Sanity Potion, he does do a lot of damage here, and Tofu X does bring down the tower, but look at how fast Asian is just got popped. Like Akun is legendary, as I said, and the whole team is just getting crushed here. 2 of the carries at the back, they are not able to go into range. Once they get caught, this game is GG. WCWS, the whole team focusing onto the inhibitor, and they will smartly back off. And the tanks again being tanky enough to withstand the damage of the ace in the hole.
So he will survive that, and this is going to be 2 inhibitors taken for the side of Team Secret, and they will continue the pressure. Baron is going to spawn soon in the next minute and a half or so, so they might choose to take the Baron and then transition to the bottom lane for the end game. It is the last lane.
I just thought of something. If the tank survived with a slim amount of health, it would be so funny if he actually stepped on the trap and died.
And that would be quite rare because he says a triumphant roar, so I believe he would survive.
That's just something that I think about behind the scenes with camouflage. Yeah. Like, yeah. But diabolic.
Anyway, so here going back into the game, we will see the entire team for Team Secret, as mentioned, they're going to move on to the Baron, and I believe they're going to get a clean pickup unless Diabolic manages to snipe it away, please. Okay, let's just check the damage so I can forgive WCWS.
Let's see if you can give WCWS some slack.
See, the magic damage is still 500 plus 424, so it is still 924 magic damage, and with the resistance from Baron, it's going to be reduced to just about 700, and WCWS is at level 15, so Smite is 910 true damage, so it's still much more than the final spark. It all comes down to the timing as well as control.
WCWS, what will you do? Look at the amount of plants that he's putting down there.
But W is actually teleporting back to the base with the Baron spawning out, with the plants though, it's going to be taken down so quickly, and Doubling is going to be a bit too far. He doesn't have the home guard boots. I believe this is going to be a free Baron pickup.
He does not miss a smite again. But look at that. The full Alex actually is standing 4 of the members by himself, and he's still going back in. Yes, he does have. Look at the amount of burst from Lunar Rush. He does get caught, but the Hourglass does get popped. Final Spark will finish him off. But look at that. Diabolic does get caught. Again, the CC coming in, and this will be a double kill for Varus. The damage is coming in so much. Diabolic will not withstand. The Demacia Standard into the Dragon Strike combo will try to pop them out a bit, but Kick Factory will go down even though he is so tanky. And this should be GG. Secret will go 2-0 in the group alongside with, I'm not sure about Kuala Lumpur Hunters' game, but we will bring you an update to that. But what a game was played. 6 kills and 5 was all on Lux.
Yes, and this is going to be in the end game and also almost 40 minutes as you mentioned, but look at that. Come on, Lux take the kill.
The barrier was popped and it was enough. But one thing more important than the game, Teddy. The tanks
stayed alive. So the only champions with death was the top and mid for this game. The jungle actually retained alive, even though he did dive quite far in a bit.
Anyway, for the KTHX game, they are actually still in game. So we will bring you an update as soon as possible, guys. Stay with us, but we will just jump into the score screen to see what actually happened in this game.
So this game was quite fair on and off because some of the objectives actually went in the early favor of Team Forever Alone, with the scenes just trolling around. I would have to say that he would have done a better job if he actually got his mastery.
And look at that.
I'm going to going to PM him later and ask, are you purposely throwing the game? But anyway, moving on from there.
I don't think he actually wants to do that.
we, no, see, he is using Singe the troll, so he is trolling the game no matter what. He is Singe.
All right,
You get
fine.
that joke?
You, but look at
Okay,
that.
never mind.
Varus
Okay,
actually doing the semi-red Varus build like you mentioned. He does go for the whole red thing. And you can see, look at the amount of gold that he has. Lux was the only one keeping in touching distance with his lane counterpart. Lux has 13k while Zara only had 12. So you can see how good Diabolic was actually in his, he was doing very well for himself. And sad to say, the rest of the team did not actually catch up as well as he did.
Yeah, so the laning phase CS wise, it was all quite fair until the towers got chunked down, and then everyone teleporting. The team fights happened in the favor of Secret and those dragon steals. I'm going to find WCWS soon. Choke
But
it to death.
the score does not tell the story of the game, guys. It
Yes.
wasn't such a close game. And yeah, we will have the last game, which will be KLH against Secret.
But before we move on to the last games and the advertisements and all the things like that for preparations, I'm actually going to show you the scores that happened in the first game right now. So the producer has finally fixed everything, so we're going to show it to you right now.
Good job, producer. You did get it up, and here it is. There you go.
So this is for the first game, not the current games that went on live. So the first game was Team Secret against Nothing to Lose. You can see from the score though, it doesn't look in favor at all. It looks like a storm, but it's actually a 40 minutes game. Secret did secure 23 kills, 6 deaths, and 62 assists. And Tofu Alex was the MVP for that game. But in the laning phase though, it was all fair. It was all fair overall, you would say. And then, but because NTL managed to secure more dragons than Team Secret in the beginning, so they stayed in an on-par fight overall. But the team fights though was just too messy and not coordinated for the side of Nothing to Lose because they did have a slight change in team members and roles. So, and the game, but they're playing against a KL Hunter still. The game is still ongoing, so I believe a great game is going on from there. We'll bring you live updates after this on what happened in that game. So coming up for the second game, the match that we did not stream, will be the Kuala Hunters against Team Forever Alone. The score as well was 15-6-38. The MVP was Goldens. He was on Nidali. He scored 7 kills, 0 deaths, and 1 assist, if I'm not wrong. His spears were just phenomenal throughout, and the game ended about 25 minutes. Overall, it was a great game played by both teams and things like that.
Anyway, I just asked Cake Factory himself, and he said he didn't know his masteries was 0, 0, and 0. So obviously it's unintentional, and we were just...
I mean, of course it's unintentional, but still, it's something you need to check all the time. You need to make sure it gets correct, You have the picks and bans phase to make sure the masteries go on. There is a 60-second extra cooldown timer, so to speak, to swap champions and do all those things.
Obviously, 60 seconds is not enough for Cake Factory. But we will go to a short break, guys, and when we come back, we will tell you what happened into the next game. And since Unknown940 asked, I will tell you about my Singe story.
And not only that, we will also have codes coming up during the advertisements. So for those of you who were watching yesterday, or those of you that tuning in today, for the codes that are going to appear later on during the advertisements, you actually go to the LoL store. There's a redeem code section, and you type the code in there, and you'll be able to redeem free Azure Champion, 100 RP, 4 wins IP boost, and 10 wins XP boost for those of you out there who are not yet level 30.
Yep. Anyway, we will go to a break, guys, and from here I am Camouflage.
I'm Tetibus. We'll see you soon.
Don't touch that ground.
Tofu Alex, Zeb, Tofu Alex, Tofu Alex, Tofu Alex, Tofu Alex, Enter one, Tofu Alex, Tofu Alex, Tofu Alex,
PRDM, I'm Michelle.
Just X,
Golden,
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 Goldens,
Golden,
Goldens,
Goldens,
Golden,
KLH Golden,
Goldens, X Fade, Ozora Veki, X Quinox,
Z, Eco, there, Golden,
Goldens,
Golden,
Golden, Goldens,
Goldens, Golden,
S5, Hagane,
Monkey,
Valence,
Rahore,
Hui Hui, Hui Hui, Hagane,
Hui Hui, Hagane,
Foreign King,
Chrome Dokuro, Chrome Dokuro,
Hagane,
Deadly Side,
The Tanks, Hagane, Chrome Dokuro, Hagane, Chrome Dokuro, The Tanks,
Hagane,
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 Kinos.
Jaeyoung.
Shawaka.
Esper.
Asper.
Jaeyoung. Jaeyoung. XSF.
Jaeyoung. One Eye Sleepy.
One Eye Sleepy.
Jaeyoung.
Black Torch.
Rabina Mane.
Rabina Mania.
Rabina Mania.
Rabina Mania. Myself.
Kun.
Jaeyoung.
Jaeyoung.
Valence.
Rage. Royal Flush.
Xiuye.
XSF.
Reksan.
Xiao Xiaofeng.
Jackstasy.
Jackstasy.
WCWS. Gloria.
Jackstasy.
Tensai Boy. WCWS.
Gloria.
WCWS.
Tensai Boy.
WCWS.
WCWS.
WCWS. WCWS. WCWS.
WCWS.
WCWS. WCWS. Gloria.
My name is Chu Hui Hui Yi Hui, and I play as a support.
My name is Jing Esper Han, and I play AD carry.
I'm Nicholas Gloria Tan, and I play mid lane.
My name is Z Jacksacy Young, and I play the jungle role.
My name is Dwayne Shredy, and I play top lane. My favorite champion is Lee Sin because he can jump around.
My favorite champion is Lulu because she is very cute.
Misfortune because she's easy to play.
Zach.
Probably Nessus because he deals a lot of damage and doesn't die. I'm happy and proud that my team won the Rookie League because we had put in a lot of effort and hard work.
I'm really glad that we won the competition because this is actually my first tournament with the team.
I feel super excited and I won the Rookie League.
I'm really glad my team won the Rookie League.
I felt happy and proud when we won Rookie League because I carried my team to victory.
Kuala Lumpur Hunters would be the biggest challenge for us.
Kuala Lumpur Hunters.
It's probably the KL Hunters.
Kuala Lumpur Hunters is the strongest team.
I think that KL Hunters would be the biggest competition, without a doubt. Chances of us winning is 50-50. I think we have a fair chance of winning.
If I get my listen, it's for sure a GG.
I would like to thank Kat and Zimi.
A shout out to the great managers of the team, Teddy and Arias.
I'd like to give a shout out to Arias and Teddy for managing the team.
My friend Richard for being a great friend.
CG is really valuable because it allows us to bring our champions to life. It allows us to get up close and personal with our champions in a completely unconstrained way. We know that each champion has very iconic, distinctive moves that our players recognize. So we're constantly trying to be as authentic as possible and as close to the game as we can be. We're going to try to hit that. One of the difficult things is, as artists, we can't take what happens in the game and interpret it completely literally. Garen's a perfect example. If Garen was just spinning around the CG the whole time, we would have what feels like a cartoon. We saw the cut of the Garen scene and didn't have the spin. Garen is not Garen if there's no spin, so how can we make a spin? That's not like a literal interpretation, and then Brad got up and he did his thing.
And I stood up and I was like, it could look like this. And I whipped around, kicked the chair into the wall, kicked his wall. And the whole time he's just screaming, yes, yes, yes. And that was it. That was like the birth of it. And so I sat down and I started gesture drawing over the actual animation itself.
There was a lot of back and forth on getting that to look really authentic to Garen, but in a new way. It was a nod to what happens in the game, but completely appropriate to the CG.
Another example is TF moving in on Fiddle. He's going to initiate that with the yellow card. So if there's an opportunity to keep it authentic, that's worth doing.
Why not motion capture? If we're trying to sell realistic or believability, then why didn't we motion capture the moves? The most athletic being in the world couldn't deliver on what we need Twisted Fate to deliver on what Rise jumps 10 feet in the air to jump over that giant 400-ton pillar. We wanted to be able to break the body when we needed, to create things that you could feel and not see. For instance, if you were to pause it, his back is broken. I mean, it's completely broken and he's off balance. You don't see it, but you feel how powerful he is, that it's a spine-breaking throw.
Personality is incredibly important when we're creating these champions.
Annie's cool because she's like this two-sided kind of character. She's very cute and adorable, kind of innocent looking on the outside, but then you know she's got this demonic kind of twisted inside. We decided we definitely needed to shoot video reference and kind of get some ideas going. So one of our fellow writers, Christina Wan, volunteered to do some video reference for us, and she did such an awesome job on it that the animator working on it basically just took that reference and put it on Annie. It was like interpreted brilliantly, and it just really came to life, and it became this really cool moment.
And we put so many fine details into the CG that no matter how many times you watch it, you're going to notice something new every time. You may notice that Demon Blade Trindamir's sword is actually breathing for a split second. You may notice that Tibor's tongue, when he's hanging by Annie's side, is actually flopping around, hand animated. It's touches like that that we think add a little bit of extra magic to the experience.
This CG for us is really a gift to the players, and we know our players want to see our champions come to life.
One of the things we're really committed to is expanding on the characters, places, and the story of our world. And right now, we feel like we're just scratching the surface.
Captain Timo on duty.
I always wanted to be a baker.
You want some of this?
Oh, I'm stuck in between. Okay, so let me teach my people. Just click it again.
It's the outfits again. But anyway, guys, I know there's some confusion on the code.
So it's first come, first serve basis. So whoever gets it first, well, will get it.
For you to redeem the code, you have to go to the link of that shop and click on the tablet of the tab code and just type it out there, right? Really fast.
It's really fast. It's a competition to see who gets it first, I have to say.
And don't worry about it, guys. We have a lot more codes to give away. I think we have like 5 or 6 more. So
Yes,
you just have to be really quick on the fingers.
Yes, just be like instantaneous memory, type everything down, and then you get the code. I mean, you get your gift, so to speak.
And we are actually ready for the last game. And here we go.
Yes, the last game for today that we'll be streaming will be KLH versus Team Secret. So based on the score that has happened so far, there won't be any sort of tiebreaker for today.
This is the finals of the group. The winner will go on to win the group, while the losers will get second place, I guess.
Yes, and they kicked off for spring season, but still they will be noted by a lot of teams during the summer season. So before we move on to the game for today, hopefully I did not confuse my producer just now with some of the things I mentioned to him. So we would like to actually take a look at the overall score screen first for what happened for the both games previously.
Yeah.
And hopefully I actually...
Let's just go into the score screen really quickly, maybe. Oh, that's our names.
Okay, so I'm going to speak in the code language you guys will understand.
And there you go, but that's actually overlaid.
It's okay. You need to close the DSK one first. Press the DSK auto. So I'm trying to teach my producer now. So yes, see, problem solved.
Sorry guys, we are actually short on hand. We're just trying to work, just trying to bring these games to you as fast as possible. But though that is the score of the last game, KLH did bring down nothing to lose. But it wasn't really an easy game. It was 26-21. So it was a nice game.
Yeah, it was a close game. Again, though, I heard through the games, it was the early phase, though, the leading phase, nothing to lose was strong. They were going on toe-to-toe with Kuala Hunters. But once again, when it came to the mid-game, coordination, team fight, how the team move around, it wasn't there again. So the team, I suppose nothing to lose, couldn't put themselves together in terms of their team communication as well because of the changes going on in the team.
It has been changing a lot lately, a lot of roster changes. But okay, I think this is the final of the group.
Yes,
Whoever
so
wins this will win the game.
yeah, so we'll be streaming the game Team Secret versus Kuala Hunters, which both have 2 wins so far in the Group B, and then we have the other match going on with Team Fire alone against nothing to lose.
And don't worry about that. We will tell you. We'll bring you the updates of that game once it's finished.
Yeah, so we will let you know about everything else that happens, so on and so forth. So right now we're going to move on to the game for Kuala Hunters against Tofu Alex. Oh, sorry, Tofu Alex. Oh wow, Team Secret is going to start. They had a slight problem because they did a swap around just now, so I got distracted. So my mind mentioned the first thing I saw, which was Tofu Alex instead of Team Secret. I apologize about that. But
Tofu Alex is their main man, I guess. So Tofu Alex and Co.
Yes, Tofu Alex and Co.
Anyway, unknown 940. If you still really want to know my Sage story, I'll tell it after the game.
Yes, it's okay. We'll go from there. Okay, so because they did swap around the side rows, the host was changed. Okay, so the game has started. So we'll move into the bans and picks for the last game for today. Kuala Hunters against Team Secret. So what do you think? Would the bans be specific again? Would it be
It
similar?
will be specific because both teams knows each other really, really well. They are not unknown. You can research secret anywhere. They have their ranked team. They have their profiles, and they are really famous in the solo queue. They play a lot, so they know what they're gonna ban. I'm thinking the first ban would be a twist. Well, they're gonna twist their fates by banning Twisted Fate. And then there's the puns again. But look at that. Shen instantly banned my secret. They know what they want to ban. They know what they want to play against.
I wonder whether they'll ban Kha'Zix though, because
Golden's
on Kha'Zix ripped terror upon them during their show match at the Carnival this year. So
let me just
it's
tell
something
you,
to
it was not a fun scene to see.
Yes. Like the laning field is going on well, and then suddenly Golden's just snowball out of nowhere and gets crushed everything.
Rice getting banned. I'm not really sure that Rice, but I guess because they want to target Tofu Alex, he was training top Rice a little bit, and they want to shut him down. Narcissus getting banned. Narcissus.
I believe it's actually the fact where Golden's might want to pick up Kha'Zix. So a counter to Kha'Zix,
a little bit.
The Rise. So they do have the first pick. So I think they're banning out champions. They don't want to pick first and give it to the opponents.
Yep.
So it'll be Twisted Fate, Rise, and Elise, but we're the last ban coming out
It's gonna be trash. So yeah, they're scared of that trash folks. Who isn't? It's really scary. A death sentence. The skill has a death in its name. It's scary.
Yes.
And nope, they're gonna instant lock that Javan. It's gonna be a Javan jungle straight away. So showing their hand in the jungle. Do you think this is wise?
Well, it could be a top lane or mid lane. I mean, it is more general for Javan to go in the jungle, but I mean, it's still fine because Javan is just a strong jungler over on and out. He performs well. There's not really a counter to him in the jungle because he can traverse terrains very fast as long as he has the cooldowns up and ready. So it's going to be great from there. So WCW is finally get his Sejuani for this game. It's going to be exciting to see whether it performs well. And someone asked between Team Broski and Paradox, who got number 1 for this team group stage. Team A, Paradox came up above.
Paradox getting that higher seed for the tournament. They will face off to the runner-up of this group. So it's important to see who actually will win. If you win this group, you will actually face off against Broski. If you lose this match, you will face off against Paradox. So obviously you want to win the group. You don't want to fight against Broski. Obviously.
Yes, so here we will see Golden's in mid using Jace, and then XSF taking up Diana. So we might see Diana top, Javan in jungle, and Jace in mid. So actually the supports and AD carry is not such an important champions for KTHX to lock down. They want to lock down a specific champion they want. So they might have seen Diana being played by Tofu Alex in the previous game.
I want to take that away from him. At Diana, if you play a champion, you know how to counter it. So he should know how to play against it. And guys, let me just give you a heads up. A code is coming up soon. So be ready. It should be coming up soon. So be ready. Be aware.
Later it doesn't come up for the next half an hour, I'm going to laugh again. So moving on with the picks. So we have picked the AD carry, which is finally Akun gets his favorite AD, which is Caitlyn. So I believe it's going to play out fine for him.
What I think the next 2 picks is going to be the support and the top lane. And there you go. My predictions will come true. And it's going to be
a Cho'Gath locked in. So it's going to be another Cho'Gath like to decimate everyone, just charge in, tank everything, take all the damage. You might see even a similar build. He might go for a Spirit Visage first because he's going against an AP champion again. So this is going to work out well. Like Tofu Alex item build wise, he has a lot of experience. Like he built up for the tankiness when playing against Cannon. He got the armor first with this extra sustain to negate the damage taken, and then transition to the magic resist very quickly just by farming the lane solidly. So this is going to be great for the side of Secret. But the AP mid though, will it be Orianna once again?
I do not.
Because they do have a great combination CC crowd control to combine with and do a great combo with the ultimate from Sejuani, Rupture from Cho'Gath, and the Shockwave would be a great burst coming up.
I think it would be better for Hidden Blade to pick something like Zyra. Because the whole team of KTHX can dive onto you.
Yes, but Zyra is very squishy and Jace is like going to pound onto Zyra. In my opinion, like, I've seen a lot of matchups. Like if the Zyra lands the binding and seeds and the plants well enough, so to speak, they will be a fair trade. But still, the burst damage coming from Jace is something you want to avoid to face most of the time.
And Vayne getting picked up. We saw how strong XXF was on Vayne during the first week of GPL. But no, it's going to be Blitzcrank. So Hook City?
Hook City. We will see though, it hasn't been locked in yet. Still deciding.
Oh, it's been locked in already.
Oh wait, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
the color didn't change, so I'm like, oh, it's actually locked in. Wow.
So Hidden Blade thinking what to do. Now I think he needs to pick something with a disengage. A Gragas might be an ideal an ideal pick, but it's
No,
going.
but lasers are much better.
We
So-
saw the last game how strong those lasers are.
Yes, and to counter the damage coming out from the pokes of Goldens, they need a poke champion themselves before they, or even if they go all in, like Lux has the great burst coming out from Final Spark in a team fight.
Anyway, that's the code I promised you. So yeah, it didn't took 30 minutes at all. It took 3 minutes. So there you go, guys. That's the code. Get in there. You need to type really quickly. I think the code has been gone already.
The brackets are actually posted in the forum, so if you actually go to ll.garena.com, no, sorry, it's forum.ll.garena.com, and then you hit on under tournaments and events, you see the brackets right there.
But I will just give you an update. This is the final match of Group B. Secrets and KLH are both tied with 2 wins each. Whoever wins this match will win the group.
Yes, and the highest seeding spot, so to speak, where they will play against the first place for the Group B will play against the runner-up of Group A,
which is Broski.
And so then the runner-up from Group A, the first place from Group A will play against the runner-up of Group B. So it's important to see who you like to fight first. Some people prefer a certain matchup. They might purposely lose this game. So no one wants to purposely lose the game, but some people sometimes prefer how they're going to matchmaking, because this does not define the final placing for those people in the group stage. But for Combo Hunters, I believe they want to maintain their name because they are the professional team coming up from Malaysia.
And I'm sure that Secret doesn't want to meet. Hold on. Sejuani? Tofu Alex is on Sejuani. I'm not really sure.
Oh, yes, it is going to be a
top
Sejuani.
Sejuani, guys. Wow.
Okay, so
well, I know what runes I want to see.
Yes, this is going to be interesting because Sejuani actually has a great percentage health damage coming out from her charge. So we're actually going to move right into the rules and masteries for Tofu Alex. This is going to be exciting. So here it's going to be attack speed plus AP tanky. So
nice page name.
Yes, still taking the flat ability power on the Quintessence to buff up the overall damage from Sejuani. And then the attack speed marks coming up 15%. With the flat armor, which is quite standard, but the magic resist as well. So it's going to be 6.7 magic resist and the 11 magic resist at level 18. The standard pickup for some magic resist, and the attack speed, which is much needed to land off the basic attacks to stack up the frost armor coming up from Sejuani.
And let's just go look to the masteries. He's actually 2109, going really offensive on his runes and masteries. He wants to do a lot of damage. He wants to be an instant hurt, so to speak, and he will be able to sustain. But one thing I'm thinking of, it would be funny if they actually couldn't trade.
Trade hits?
Like, no,
Oh, the trade champions.
Yeah.
But the game, they did not dodge the game, so I believe this is the lineup they want to go through. A lot of people haven't seen that much Sejuani or play a lot of Sejuani, but I use Sejuani as a jungler so far. I've tried an Magic Pen build, attack speed build with ability power, a mix and match of all these things, and she works out really well because if you max Arctic Assault first, if you manage to hit onto opponent champions, it actually does max health damage. It's actually going to be 12% at level 5, and so it's going to chunk down anyone very quickly, and the AoE damage coming from Flail of the Northern Wind is going to be able to deal magic damage as well as the damage that is boosted comes from percentage of bonus health.
Yep.
And it's just going to stack up so much from there. And Permafrost is AP and has great slow CC as well as damage being stacked up. And most importantly, the ultimate
Glacial Prison.
Yes, the Glacial Prison. Just lock everyone down and it's going to do high burst, high damage. I believe it's going to be a similar build. We might see Abyssus.
And the third game was actually
dodged.
So yeah, I'm thinking that they were that's actually a bug. Not really sure. I'm just gonna ask. Right.
So we're going to find out what happened though in that game. I believe, as mentioned, it is actually a bug. So we're just going to
ask what happened. Right. Well, for the meantime, we can tell you that the game between NTL and Forever Alone is actually.
It's actually can't swap. Oh,
and
so sad.
like I said, they could not swap champions, but we will be making another game really swiftly soon. So sorry, guys. Just hold on with us. Well, I think I can tell my Siege story now.
Yes, you should tell your Siege story.
Well, for anyone who wants to know, I have a history with For those who don't know, I used to be a professional player in in a semi-professional player, I guess. And I used to be for the top laner for Paradox Gaming. And when I played against KTHXBAI in the semi-finals of of the Hill North, I met a Singe top. And that Singe just literally crushed my face.
To be more specific, see, there's actually a quote in between us right here. So do
Yeah,
put it in if you're interested. So to clarify his story a bit more, they actually managed to shut down the Singe in the early game.
Yep.
But when it came to the mid game, the Singe just charged in and killed and decimated his entire team. And then the whole team snowballed from there, and they couldn't get anything.
It was not a pretty sight.
Yes, it was not a pretty
It was-
sight.
and that is why I hate Singe so much. And it's so funny for me to cast games when there's Singe. Because I love to see teams play against Singe. But again, we are ready to go again. Let's go into the team select just to remind you what they picked.
Yeah, so the bans will go on very quickly, and they are not ready to go. I think they don't realize who's the host now.
Yeah, not really sure. But it's tainted
Yes.
one.
So
Yeah. But yeah,
Bit of
remember,
delay.
there's another quote here, like right here. See, I'm holding on it.
it's trying to not crush it, so to speak.
Yeah, I think the code has been gone already.
So it's going to stay there for a bit longer, just in case you guys were unable to get it. So hopefully,
And it's coming out really, really quickly, but now we have another 3 minutes to wait.
I like to see bands though that have like first letters and
They didn't do it. I'm really
yes,
sad.
Formod did it yesterday.
Yeah, for those who didn't know, Formod actually had to remake the game because there was a crash.
Yes.
And when they redid the bans, they spelled DOG.
Yes.
And I don't need to tell you what that means.
Now there's a game of CLG against Curse that actually did TSM subs.
Yeah, a little bit immature there, but
It was just for fun,
Yeah,
I
it's just
suppose, between the gamers there. So here we will see the banks are going on very quickly. So we will still have to go through that slightly, but we have more time though.
Was it?
Check the runes.
Oh, it
No,
was
it's going to be Blitzcrank
Blitzcrank
together
and
with
Vayne.
Yes.
one thing I want to say about this composition is that Blitzcrank and Vayne doesn't really work well in the laning phase.
It really depends because Blitzcrank has great crowd control and it pulls the champions into the wall, and then together with Vayne tumbling into position.
Maybe it works.
And I forgot. Wow, I can't remember the skill right now on the top of my head. Wow, I can't. Oh, condemn. Yes, I condemn the champion into the wall. So it's going to be like a almost 3-second stun with the hook plus the knock up and the condemn into the wall. It's about 3-second stun, and that gives a chance for Vayne to land the silver bolts and then chunk down more than 50% of HP if it's done well.
Yep, anyway. Now we have another 3 minutes. Teddy, what rules and masteries do you want to see? I chose my choice, and it was a wrong choice. But yeah, I chose. Let's just look in the side of KLH this time.
For the side of KLH, so let's just go through. I believe let's just pick up things at once.
Yeah, let's just look at it.
First, we did see the Diana Tofu X on top on Diana. Previous game, so it goes ho ho. So it's going to be actually flat ability power. Just wanted to check this out, whether to see whether he'll get the flat magic resist instead, because Cho'Gath does do a lot of magic damage.
Yep.
Overall skill set is all magic. And from the runes earlier, we did see he's going for attack speed and ability power just to sustain
That
better.
Cho'Gath will hurt a lot. And let's just look at the side of the masteries for him right here. Going for 2172, the improved recall and flash for him.
Yes, so taking up the 3 points in hardiness, though not into resistance. Playing against a Cho'Gath,
Really sure.
that would be the better choice, but I suppose Diana is preparing to dive into the opponent champions, and also Sojourner does a lot of magic damage, so not so sure of this pick and choice. Maybe I was too lazy to just change it. So we will
I
see.
don't think he's lazy to take it, honestly.
I mean, well, some people have their own playstyle, some people are lazy.
0-0-0.
0-0-0 is the best to see. So
Oh
far.
god. I tell you, Cake Factory, you'll be forever remembered for 0-0-0 masteries on Singe.
So I'm gonna
Anyway,
check XSF runes. I want to see whether he has changed, adopt the new style, or is he going to play his own personal style, which is the attack speed, flat damage, armor, and it's actually
Really
going to be
okay,
a mix. He
so
still has the attack speed.
let
though.
me translate the rune page for you. It actually means only you will know in English. But yeah, he did not went for the 4% lifesteal that we saw on Jaeyoung yesterday.
So it's opt to go for his personal style of physical damage. So he has the flat damage on the quintessence, and then one more damage here to get the 7 physical damage. Not sure why. I remember the 6.8 should transition into
Nope.
7.
I remember something I saw from a pro player stream that when the the numbers are actually 0.7 or 0.8, they do not round off. They actually go on to the game with 0.7.
But sometimes it does though for certain points. If I'm not wrong, like for percentage and certain points of things, it will transition. So I suppose he wants to make sure he gets the 7 damage as you have mentioned, and he going for attack speed. So it's going to mix with the marks and the glitch for attack speed. So 10% attack speed, 70 physical damage with 6 armor pen marks.
Not really sure why he went for armor pen and attack speed. I'm thinking he's gonna max his silver bolts first since he has the attack speed.
But we have to take a look though. I mean, he wants to make sure he deals high amounts of damage. So if you guys know the LL math channel, it actually talks about whether you should go for flat physical damage or hybrid, like right now, half armor pen, half physical damage, or go for full armor pen. So in terms of damage calculation, in the early game, flat damage is better.
Yep.
In the mid game, the hybrid set is better. But during the end game though, the armor pen beats off everyone flat out. Like during season 1, I played flat armor pen rules. Like I had 25 armor pen on my AD carries, and early game was like I guess normal training hits, but when it came to mid to late game, when I started to get my items, my damage would hurt on tanks, even though I don't have a last whispers yet.
So let me just look at some comments right here, and yes, we will be putting out some codes during the middle of the game, so try to be fast. And for those who don't know how to use it, you have to go to the shop and go to the codes tab and type out the code. And try to do it as fast as possible because it's the first come first serve basis.
Yes.
And for Benji Woon, yes, there is no results, but I can tell you the results right now. On the first game of the day, we saw KLH beating Team Forever Alone, and Secret beat out Nothing to Lose. And Fallout for the second game, Nothing to Lose again just fell short against KLH, while Forever Alone couldn't bring up the goods against Team Secret. So right now, Secret and KLH are both undefeated in the group with 2-0 each, and this game will determine who wins the group.
Yes, and who they will face against for the spring season finals, which will be happening in 2 weeks' time, and it's going to be exciting from there and there off.
Top 4 teams in Malaysia battling now in a double elimination best of 3. And as we were talking,
I think it's a double elimination best of 3.
Yeah, as we are talking, there is another code, guys, right here. Look, right here.
No, it's not here. It's like I can't.
Okay, we don't need to do that, but yeah, there is another code. Go onto the tab right now. Since the game is in loading screen, just write it out really quickly within 5 seconds. Come on, I'm gonna fight with you. No, I'm not gonna do it.
It's NQAF76FHBFDCRDHD6F3.
As you can see there, Teddy T-Burst helping you with the codes.
Yes, so hopefully all you lucky guys out there who got it, you are enjoying your S0, 100 RP, 4-win IP boost, and 10-win
100
XP
RP
boost.
is a lot. I want some 100 RP. Why don't I get any?
Because you're getting paid in cash instead.
Okay.
Oh, you can give me your cash and shoot the 100 RP. So gonna move right into the game, but yes, as
The
usual,
curse
this
of
the
Teddy
curse
T-Burst
of-
strikes again.
Because of Teddy T-Burst.
Yes, I'm gonna call it that. Anyway, we are in the pause. So, since we're in the pause, do you think we will see any level 1 invades?
Based on how the flow of the games, I did not really get to see KLH games played out in the early stage, but based on how Team Secret has been playing, I would say they're going to go for invade again. They're going to plumb out certain walls. They're going to go for the invade to try to catch something off guard. But KLH so far, in terms of GPL, I've seen they always start very safely, planting the crack wards. Only sometimes when they feel confident, they'll go all in for the invade. And since they picked up Blitzcrank, I believe they will do an invade as well. So this is going to be an interesting level 1 fight, most probably, when everything goes on and off from here.
Yeah, I can see we are actually into the live screen right now. I do think we will see the level 1 coming from KLH. Just because of Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank is so strong in those invades that you just cannot neglect it. You can just put a blue buff over the wall or put a red buff, depending on your situation, and you can just get it. But you can see now, the whole team of KLH and Secret going to the top side of jungle, and we might actually see a level 1 fight. This would be the first level 1 fight during the spring season's group stages. Even in the group A, we didn't see a level 1 fight, if I'm not mistaken. And
yeah,
I'm thinking we might actually see it. What do you think, Teddy?
We might just see it though. Blitzcrank, as usual, KLH will go for the wall first to guard their own raid in case they come for the invade. And then only Blitzcrank will, when they will with the group up top, and then they will go for this top invade, which is a quite standard start for the side of KLH on the blue side. We've seen it many times of GPL, And I believe that Team Secret knows that this is happening. That's why they're waiting in this area. They have done their research, they won their revenge match, and they want to make sure they're winning and take it away from KLH.
If I'm not mistaken, Team Secret has never beaten KLH in a tournament or a live event.
So far,
and this could be their chance. And look at that, they're actually coming. They do see KLH, and the Rupture does that on the triple. And what a great line fighting! The flash from Blitzcrank will save it. WCWS will go down to the ignite. The first one does go on to Jace. And so much damage coming in. Everyone's solo, but the flash was coming. The Rupture will finish him off. It is so far a 2-for-2 trade, but more kills will go down. KLH XXF will try to flash in, but Akun is solo. The lower Peacemaker, the grab finishes him off. Tofu Alex will go down here. Maybe he doesn't have flash or any more mana. He will just walk away from that. A 3-for-2 trade for KLH, and they got the first blood, so advantage KLH.
Yes, and also they got an additional kill. I thought that Akun would have picked up the
first
trap instead.
Yeah.
Yoda snap trap.
Yep.
But he took the pill over Peacemaker to try to do as much damage as possible. I'm not so sure that was the best choice, but in the end the trade went off in the KLH favor because they have Jace, and Jace with just like swapping stance from Hammer.
And the both
into his
kills
gun to
went
have extra
on
damage.
to Tofu Alex. That wouldn't be ideal, I say, because he's not playing as assassin, he's playing a tank.
I would say it is ideal though for Tofu for the side of Secret in terms of the beginning, because the 2 kills were stacked up onto the top lane, Tofu Alex, and he has the early start as well because he has a great sustain, and they're doing a lane swap.
Yep. Hello. They just
you can see here Blitzcrank together with XSF just reaching up top lane, and here Tofu Alex is going to plant the ward. He's going to have a hard time, I would say, until he reaches a higher level, but in this 2v1 lane though, he just needs to dodge a hook and he should be happy and well off. Bottom side though is going to be tainted once against the tanks and Akun, and have a Caitlyn and Lulu. It's not going to be easy to gank them, it's not going to be easy to defend a tower against it at the earliest level, especially since Caitlyn excels so much at sieging onto towers, no matter at what level in the game.
Let's see now, let's just see how fast he can clear this wave. Look at the amount of punishment he's getting. Whenever he just walks up, just 3 auto attacks into his face instantly.
Yeah, so it is because of the lane swap that we see Tainted Ones actually stacking up on the armor instead. So this is what they had in mind. So here we will see the Hidden Blade. It's going to have a harder time though because of the first blood that went, the first kill that went on there. Jace, the advantage, he needs to be careful of whatever they decide to do from here on then out.
Actually, 1 kill going on to Blitzcrank, not ideal, but hey, what you gonna do? You still get the goal for your whole team. Let's just look at the goal lead advantage for the goal difference. It is a 400 goal difference for the side of KLH. So exactly the first blood goal is the difference between the both teams now.
And Tofu Alex actually cleared the golems and then went back to base to pick up the Doran shield with the boots so that he can dodge the overall damage potential coming out from Blitzcrank and Vayne. As well as with the Doran shield, he's going to be so tanky. Even if he gets hooked, he's going to be able to survive it very well. He has a flask as well, and just going to pound on the pods until he reaches like level 5, and the minions should be enough to sustain himself.
Yep, double Doran is coming out from Vayne. He will have a lot of damage from that. And look at that, Tofu Alex is down to 1/3 of his health. He needs something to help him out. He needs WCWS to come out and just protect the lane with him. You see now the lane at bottom is getting pushed. Akun and the tanks trying to get the tower as fast as possible, and the tanks tanking up the turret hits like a champ, showing me he is actually tanky enough.
So here we will see though, Hidden Blade at mid side overall in CS is still really fine against Jace, but he needs to be very careful because Jace went back once already to pick up Tear of Goddess, and so far is just being very careful of how he positions himself. He needs to make sure he dodges the Walen's hook at the same time though he wants to protect his tower. If they do engage the tower dive though up top, I think that it will be in Tofu Alex's favor. Just that he's waiting for his flash to be ready before he do anything just. And here we will see XSF might get caught. I think the sword goes down. The Permafrost goes down with the red buff, but they are going to disengage because of the knockback coming from XSF. But Sejuani is still waiting, just waiting for his claws to be ready before they dive onto him again, most probably.
You saw the gang potential from Sejuani there. One Arctic Assault might have just killed. If the Arctic Assault had land, he would have forced a flash and barrier. A ghost, I'm sure. But here comes Tainted Ones and Java coming in. The Moonfall grasps down both of them. The Pale Cascade will do extra damage. He 90 combats into the wall and he will be safe. Good play there by Akun to just get out of that.
But they were unable to apply as much pressure onto the tower as they like in comparison to Blitzcrank and Vayne. They need to be very careful because the Jarvan diving in and Tainted One's burst damage as Diana is still a threat towards them. As Diana did go back to base, pick up the double cloth armor. I mean, additional cloth armor with the Doran's ring. He's going to sustain so much better in the lane.
Look at that. Vayne can just walk up and hit that Cho'Gath and he cannot do anything about it. The only thing that Cho'Gath can do right now is to try to clear the wave as fast as possible. Look at that. One Rupture, one Pharaoh Scream, and the lane is dead. He will try to regain as much mana back as possible from last hitting this Pierce, but it's so hard when one Vayne is just hitting you over. The Rocket Grab just missing there, but here comes the bot lane. The flash into a knockback there. That is one dead Caitlyn. He has no flash to extend. The flash is off cooldown within 1 second. The flash from Tainted One was unnecessary. The light binding does hit. Tainted One will not go down. He does survive there with a glimmer of health. And what a
Hidden Blade without enough mana though, because he did have the final spark up and ready, but sadly that did not transition to a much needed kill for a trade.
Yep, it is a 4-4-2. Right, the score is actually 4-2, but it's only a 700 goal lead for KLH. Not dire in any way. You can come back with that without any problems.
Because Diana is not having that good of a time farming the CS as I mentioned earlier before, so she really needs to be careful in what happens. Because Cho'Gath, even though he's getting pressured, he has the additional 2 kills as well as the levels right now needed to clear the creep waves very quickly. He's saving his face most probably for a gank. If Johnny goes in, I believe he will jump all in, but nope, he's going to feast onto the minion first, stack up the health, and waits for later on. Because the cooldown is just 60 seconds on feast, it will be up and ready most probably when Johnny hits level 6 and comes in for the gank up top. And it should be an easy kill onto XSF because he does not have clan.
Let's just look at the farm for all the lanes. I mean, traditionally, Diana and Cho'Gath would be the top laner, and Cho'Gath is 10 CS ahead of him. The jungler is relatively even, as so as the mid lane, but look at that. Vayne is actually out farming Caitlyn, even though they are in different lanes, and both of them has zero pressure. Vayne has been doing a better job in farming. So yeah, in the late game, or in the mid game actually, Vayne will do much more damage compared to Caitlyn. He'll be able to stun, go invincible, and the Rocket Grab just missing there.
Yes. I wouldn't say though that Vayne is actually farming better than Caitlyn, but Caitlyn is getting a lot of hurt farming from Jarvan as well as JC.
Oh, that thought that the
Again,
tank's trying to outrun that. He's just trying his best to survive, but he will go down there. And the tank was just not tanky enough.
And see, once again, I was mentioning, Golden's as well as Red Hot Base has spent a lot of time at the bottom in securing, make sure the pressure doesn't go a lot.
The red buff does apply onto Caitlyn, but he'll be A-okay just walking away from where.
There was no red buff.
Yes?
It was just a shield actually.
Oh.
The animation, just burst a bit up. You thought it was a red buff. But here, Akun needs to be very careful. Tainted One's at level 7 because he did secure the additional kill and assist from Lulu. 2 times in a 1 kill onto Caitlyn as well as an assist onto Lulu. Needs to be very careful how they go on.
Also, Flex might be in a heap of trouble here. They're just camping in this brush and he's still walking forward. He did not know anything. And here comes the killing group of the killing duo of Vayne and Blitzcrank. But he's actually trying to. Wow, he's actually gonna get away from this. The Rupture does land onto Blitzcrank, but while that was happening, a Q does go onto Vayne. Sorry, I didn't see that, but here comes the hook. It does miss. So Alex does get condemned into the wall. I think he will actually get away safely. A great Rupture does land onto Vayne, and he will just disengage from that.
And see, Tofu is just landing all the Ruptures like a boss, being able to survive, no problems at all, just running away. And at the same time, as you were talking about that, the mid lane, Hidden Blade nearly getting owned by Red Hot Race, I would have to say, but the binding and the shield was just enough to keep Lux alive, and Red Hot Race almost died to the turret hits.
Yep. And I'm sorry for the short shoot in me, I'm Elmo. Yeah, we have a little bit of Chinese accent. Can't really get that away from us.
Nice accent.
Yeah. Cool. So, no, we are still Malaysians. We're trying our best to get our accents out, but can't really do much about it. And WCWS finally hitting 6. And he did use his Glacial Prison to try to run away, but it was a valiant attempt, I guess. But he still did go down, and Cho'Gath now, as I said, even if he gets shut down so much, he still can come back into the late game. And he got the early 2 kills, the only 2 kills in the game, for Team Secret currently. And he's still doing really well in terms of farm.
Yes, but the problem will lie in how well, which will become fatter and have a full set of items first. Will it be Cho'Gath or Vayne? Because Cho'Gath can be a Bane towards Vayne if Vayne does not get good enough items to kite Cho'Gath away and then land all the silver boats. But if Cho'Gath becomes too beast, too manly, as well as have a bit of AP in order to secure damage onto Vayne, he might be able to shut down Vayne instead when Vayne tries to go on the kill onto him. We did see in the earlier game, because it was Caitlyn does not have the silver boats true damage, but with i.e. Last Whisper and Phantom Dancer, he was not doing great damage to his shoulder.
Anyway, as I said, Vayne is opting to go for the attack speed before the Bloodthirster. He wants to use that Zero Burst as much as possible. Even though it's just one level, it still does a lot of damage, and with the lightning effect from the static shift, it will do a lot of damage. But he doesn't have level 1 boost, and if he actually gets caught by the Arctic Assault from Sejuani, he will be a dead Vayne.
Yes, but here we will see the post coming for Goldens over the wall, just chunking down HP. The tanks took a hit, and they know they have the advantage to try to move on and go for the dragon.
There is a 2k advantage at the 12-minute mark. Still be able to come back, but XXF is still just happily farming in the top lane, and Tofu Alex will get a duel for him. He's actually chasing for it. The flash was forced. I'm not sure Tofu Alex would have killed him. I don't think he had the damage potential to kill him. But look at that. KLH just sieging that mid turret, and they really want to break this mid tower so they get a free dragon.
And they really do not need to do that though, because Vayne can just transition down to the bottom lane right now to go for the dragon if they wanted to. But they're just trying to apply as much pressure and not lose out any point of time. Here we see a hook from Marlens going onto Hidden Blade, and Tainted Ones will miss the Crimson Strike, but his damage should be enough to take down Hidden Blade. But nope, they're just waiting for a last hit, and there goes the passive coming up from Diana, securing the kill onto Lux.
Yep, and you can see now this should be a free dragon, but no, they're opting for the mid tower. Obviously, what do you think? A mid tower is more important, or is the dragon more important?
The towers are definitely more important, because towers cannot respawn, and dragon will always respawn in 6 minutes once being taken down. Especially the mid turret, it grants you so much map control and advantage for moving around. So if you break if you do a lane swap, you break one tower quickly, but the other towers don't follow up, it's going to be hard for one of the champions to farm properly, because you need to buy more wards to gain the overall map control to make sure you don't get ganked suddenly.
There you go. That Valen's just showing the power of Blitzcrank there. Instantly rocket grabbing the blue buff over the wall, and he doesn't even need to go around the corner to check it.
So this is going to be a good pickup again for the South Cal Hunters. They have taken 5 kills. The 2 towers, the dragon is still up and standing though. They are still waiting for a correct time to
Team
move on.
Secret looking to collapse onto Diana. 4 members is there. Tainted Ones is going to get baited. The Arctic is up over the wall, and this is one dead Diana. He will get polymorph, and that is he's one dead Diana.
WC Darius with the permafrost going to secure the kill, not giving it to Hidden Blade, or he could. Bad jungler.
Missing smites and taking kills. WCWS.
I'm just joking. So, I mean, overall, they just needed a kill to help release our.
Yeah, Ted, just bear with us. We have been casting 2 days straight, and it's not easy to cast. And but KLH
we will see KLH pushing on the pressure on the mid tower.
KLH will actually siege onto the turret, and look at that, a fight will erupt. Hey, Horace being really low, but no one is focusing on that Vayne. The final spark only hits Vayne on the tail end on it. The rupture, just missing. The teleport from Diana will come in. Tainted One's getting light bind instantly. A great rocket breath will hit. The flash will try to save his life, but no chance at all. He will go down to Golden's, and this would be a free turret.
Yes, and not only that, it was actually a great caught out though by the Glacier Prison of Sejuani, but the follow-up was not close enough, and the Cataclysm stopped everyone in their tracks from doing anything extra. So it was a great trade of ultimates. It was a 1-for-1 trade in the end, but here we will see KLH take the dragon though.
Yeah, but you can see now the dragon will, as you said, it's gonna be free. They don't really want to engage on this, and the goal lead will extend to, I think, 5k? Yep, it will be 5k after the dragon. And what do you think Secret has to do to come back from this?
So far, the lane swaps though has been working in the favor of KLH, I'll have to say. They did a great job securing the tower as well as oppressing Tofu Alex up top. So he's getting his items much slower, but he's going for the same build we saw earlier. But overall, they just need to drag the game slightly later though. And in terms of team fight potential, when it comes down to it, I would say that Team Secret has a better team composition. Kaylin will not be able to deal that great of instant damage compared to Vayne, because Vayne has the silver boots, but still Vayne with the headshots is still not something to look. Sorry, not Vayne with the headshots. Kaylin on the headshots is not something to look down upon, and she does have the better utility to provide for the team with the Yoda snap traps, 90 caliber net, and the ace to pick up kills.
And guys, there is another code there, right? bright and big in the middle. Since there's no action, I guess it's okay to put a coup, but look at the damage that Jace is putting out in the Shock Blast and Acceleration Gate combo.
Yes, because Jace, as the AD caster, you know, your damage skills faster and better, we have to say, in the middle of the game. But for Lux, though, once she reaches the end game, if she lands a full combo onto Vayne, it's going to be impossible for Vayne to survive.
There is no way he's going to survive,
Yes.
especially when he doesn't have any cleanse or barrier. He opted with the Ghost and Flash. Sure, that makes you more mobile, but it makes you more vulnerable to attacks.
Yes, and if the full combo lands onto Vayne, XSF will be shut down instantly, and then if it hits in the final spark hits onto Tainted Ones and Golden, they'll be chunked down quite heavily as well.
Yep.
So it's not going to work so well in KTH's favor. They need to be careful of that. I believe they know.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure, but one thing to note here is the amount of vision they have for KTH. If you just look at them, what KTH can see.
Before we move on to that, we will see Warren's going to get caught out of bad position. He is forced to flash, but the Permafrost will make Warren take a lot of tower hits. But here the Cataclysm goes off, and he will jump away. The Glacier Prison is used onto XSF. They might secure the kill onto him because it doesn't have cleanse. Yes, they're going to flash right onto him, and the final spark will not be able to hit onto it. But in the end, they still secure the kill with the Rupture.
No, he does run away. The Ghost
get
paid
away.
dividend. He picked Ghost, but so far it is a 1-for-0 trade. And now Golden is on a mission. He has blood in his eyes. He's trying to kill. The pop-up does go on to WCWS, but look at that. The amount of damage coming in from Golden. He does get the shutdown onto him, and Golden's, Red Hot Race will follow up a double kill for Kaden.
Yes, this is KTH going in too hard on engage, but Tinted Ones though managed to secure the towers as well as been pushing down the bot lane. So overall, farming objectives is still in the favor of Kuala Lumpur Hunters. Those kills were much needed for the side of Team Secret, but they are still 6k goal behind.
Yeah, but as you can see now, the tanks actually kept his oracles throughout all the way. So good steal there, I guess. You know, he does keep his money. He doesn't need to spend an extra 400 gold. And after that fight, the goal lead has been shortened down to around 6k. So he has the chance. You can see now, XXF just trying to farming out. He needs to get a lot more farm. He needs to be able to withstand the damage coming out. I think he needs to finish off the Blade of the Ring King really quickly and get some sustain.
He's going to go for that, but will it be enough though? We did see how easy they chunked him down. They managed to catch him off guard. Not off guard, catch him out of position. The overall burst was enough with the Glacier Prison, and then see we had X just charging in. You know, with two big tanks in your face, you know, Vayne just really can't kite that well unless she's Blade of the Rune King and more damage in order to trade well, sustain well overall.
Now, Baron could be the contest, but let's just look at the vision for Team Secret right here. If you just look at the amount of rewards that they place around the lane of mid lane is phenomenal. Let's just see. They have one here to just chuck it up and another one here to see. But while that was happening, the queue, another fight does break out at the jungle. XXF does get stunned by the Glacier Prison. The amount of damage will come out so much. The final spark will hit on the two members. So much damage coming out from Caitlyn, from Lux and Caitlyn. The teleport from Diana will be expanded. He will try to clean up some kills. Look at Diana. The move for hits to both of the carries, and Hidden Blade is stuck between a rock and a hard place. The Shock Blast will miss. The flash coming in, and the Lunar Rush will finish him off. And it's a 3-for-2 trade for KLH.
Yes, but you can see from that fight though, all KLH members were actually brought quite low, and if they could follow up fast enough, they should be able to secure more kills for some Team Secret, but Tainted Ones was just being a boss after they teleported in and just cleaned up and chased everyone down, and they're all separated.
Just one thing on the rollback there. 2 games ago when we saw NTL Stray use teleport, he wasn't using it like that. He was just having teleport for the sake of having teleport. He didn't use it for the pressure at all. This is the way to use teleport, guys. So fast, you know, getting into a heap of action instantly. And the XXF, as I was saying, that XXF does take down the top tower. The tower count is 6-1, and the goalie is around a 9k goal difference.
So here we will see though, Baron might be the contest as you mentioned earlier, because KLH is in a heavy lead, and they have Vayne as well, which Blade of the Rune King that is going to chunk down Baron very easily and quickly. And here we will see the reward process go on, and look at that. Why is my go down the Baron though because of the passive? Oh, but
Yes, it does go down. The execution comes in, and now that will signal something for Team Secret. They may think something's up, and they might actually rush into Baron. But guys, just as a friendly tip, before you check Baron, and if you're Blitzcrank, just use your ultimate.
It just casts the ultimate first.
It has a 20-second cooldown. It's not that long, and you will be out before the team fight. If
Yeah.
not, something like that would happen.
You know, your ultimate hits on the Baron. Baron gets angry and he just decides to execute you. Over and
But
over.
the execute was so epic that he spit the last bit while he was walking away and he just died. Let's see now. Well, after all the fun games, he did die, but that wasn't really a big factor in Team Secret coming back.
I mean, of course, but still, it was just interesting and funny to watch. I suppose this is a lesson, as you mentioned, to all Blitzcrank players and support. Remember to use the ultimate first before you go in and reward in the Baron pit.
That's a public service announcement for all of you. But yeah, as I said, the vision from KLH is so strong. They place wards all over around mid lane to be able to see all of it.
And the Oracle being picked up, they're going to negate the vision coming up. So the wards have expired for the side of Kalambo Hunters. They're going to reward the areas very soon. We see them move and converge at the jungle area, trying to spot out anyone from Team Secret because they haven't been able to plant and reward the jungle yet. So they need to be very careful of how they move on from here.
And I think Baron will be the contest of both teams right now. They need the KLH will try to use the Baron to bait this out, but Secret is trying to get something off, but the pings does come in. And wow, both pings coming in from Team Secret, so they do know that they're there.
So here we will see a war going on. The fight off the wards right now, and Vayne and Jarvan.
But the Jarvan, the massive damage combo does come down. It does lock him down. The condemn does go on to Tofu X, not the one that you want to see. Vayne was forced to flash. Akun does get the first kill, but that's just the first of many. The tanks being tanky and running away. The wild growth was used. Akun was dragged back in front of Moonfall, but the flash was able to save his life. And the Rupture just stopping everyone in their track. Oh, the final spark doing so much damage onto Tainted Ones, and everyone just disengages.
Yes, but I would have to say though, WCWS wasted his Glacier Prison because he wanted to try to stop Jarvan's damage onto their carry, but Jarvan died as he threw out his ultimate and he did not hit onto anything.
Rupture, a great dodge there by the Tainted Ones, and he would go away scot-free. Now, will Team Secret try onto a quick Baron? They have the Feast, they have the Smite, and they have an Infinity Edge Caitlyn up. They might actually do Baron really, really quickly, but nope, they're just planning to clear wards, and that's about it.
Because they don't know the amount of sight the KLH has first. They need to slowly go for the rewards with the Oracle, slowly pick up those small objectives, and try to transition to winning team fights. Because they are still 9k behind, and all those gold though is well distributed on the side of KL Hunters to the main carries, the top lane, mid lane, and the AD carry.
Even though that fight went 1-0, it's still a 10k gold lead for the KL Hunters. Team Secret needs to pull out a miracle to come back. Obviously, 10k is not the biggest.
No, they need to take down another 5 towers to bring the difference back. There's a 5k gold difference from the towers difference, as well as a dragon, which is the main denominator and separation for both teams, as well as the CS difference, because they are starving Team Secret out by taking away their vision.
Look at that. Sejuani being so tanky is still being, but a Rupture does land onto Vayne. The Master Standard combo does come out from Red Hot Race, and the Cataclysm just locking everyone in. And look at that, a Glacial Prison does miss onto Vayne, and he does get away scot-free. Tinted once it's in, and Tofu X gets dragged in by the Moonfall. And look at that, everyone just trying to run away. Tofu X does get dropped, and it will be a 2-for-1 exchange. The ace in the hole, no one to block it for him. A great ultimate there by Akun. And the light binding does land onto Goldens. Maybe Hidden Blade can get the kill. Nope, he just runs away. So ultimately, a 2-for-2 trade. But I would say Secret got the advantage of that because Akun did get the shutdown goal.
But overall, it's still not enough because the goal difference is still there, setting them apart overall, because when they go for the pushes, you see how quickly KLH also clear the creep waves, clear Secret's jungle, take away everything from them. And so Secret really needs to find a great spot to initiate and catch off all the main carries. And yes, this time he has finally used his ultimate before entering the Baron pit. He has listened to your advice.
Baron is like, okay, I'm gonna let you go this time.
Yes.
Next time. But here comes the whole team of Secret coming to the bot lane, just trying to pressure that Diana. Interesting to see Diana did picked up an Oracle for herself. Why do you think so, Eddie?
I think they're trying to transition the gold loss or gold gains. What a good way to put it. Let's see. Thinking of a good word. It's like so. Okay, let's put it this way. So Orcus is 400 gold.
Yep.
If you force your support to buy Orcus all the time, then you will not have enough gold, so to speak, to buy other items. Here we see
That
the
thought
bait
that
get caught.
KTH Golden will try to burst him down. A great light binding, but the last shot blast will finish him up, and KTH Golden is on a killing spree.
And talking about the oracles, you see the tanks has bought 2 oracles, so he has used 800 gold, so his items will not transition that far ahead. And one thing to note is that because Tintin once is going for a speed push, he's been buying a lot of wards to plant in the opponent's base as he pushes out, and then he is going for the D-ward at the same time in order to secure the advantage for his team. So we will see the ward spot out his teleport, so they know that they are going for Baron. We can see WCW is moving into position, the ward coming out from Tintin 1. See the Oracle did help out in terms of just clearing the additional region as Walan's Oracle just finished.
This will be a free Baron. I don't think they know anything about it, and Wallace might actually get a hook. He does see it. Oh, he just missing. But the Master Standard, a great Gracious Prison, but he's alone. He thought the Baron was still alive, and he just gave a free kill to KLH. And this could be more blood coming to your way, but no, everyone just decides to go back.
Yes, so here we will see LH going to secure the buffs, and then most probably going to push into the mid lane very quickly. They do have the Baron buff, which is the prime time for them to siege in, because KLH have the hook, they have the poke, as well as great engage coming from both Red Horus and Tintin ones.
That shock blast combo will hurt so much, but a great light binding to a rupture, but no follow-up from Team Secret. Obviously, Sejuani is still down, so they do not want to make a misstep, because a misstep here might actually end the game for KLH.
Yes. I mean, so here we will see, look at the Crescent Strike, just doing so much damage upon Akun, so he needs to be careful not to get chunked down and burst down too quickly.
Yep, and wow, look at Golden is actually toying with death right now. He's just tanking the turret up a little bit, and he just wants to break this tower really quickly. And here comes the Arctic Assault, just missing. Wow, look at that shock blast doing the damage. But Tofu X does get caught by the rocket grab. The Master Standard, the Cataclysm comes in. Final Sprout doesn't hit anybody at all. And look at the damage. Tintin 1 does use his Hourglass to withstand more damage. And it would be a 3-for-1 trade. Or maybe the tanks will go down. Yes, the tanks does go down. A triple kill for Vayne. And Lulu was just not tanky enough.
And this will most probably transition to a inhibitor turret, and they are going to go for it because Akun is the only one alive. They have the burst damage as well as the mobility coming out from the acceleration gate of Jace, and look at that. So quickly clearing up all the minions as well as going to move on to the second Nexus turret, and look at that. XS7 just going in like a boss, going to fight against Vayne, but looks with the condemn, he does push and cancel the ace in the hole, and this will be the win for KLH, and Akun still stays alive in the end.
Akun being tanky enough. Oh my god, I have to stop using that pun. But yes, what a game we saw. Sorry. Hey, I'm sorry. Teddy needs to drink his water too. We are humans.
Sorry,
well, he
also a bit sick as well.
So bear with us. But yeah, we did make through the whole day without a tiebreaker.
Yes.
I was really, really happy.
We're happy, so I can finally rest my voice for the rest of the day as well.
Anyway, just for a recap for all of you, KLH did win the group, and they will be facing Broski off during the spring season finals at FTZAC at 15th of June.
Yes.
Coming soon.
And for the other that, so Team Secret will be playing against Paradox Gaming, and it's going to be epic matches once again that will be coming off on June 15th, so do stay tuned. It will also be there'll be something else going on as well with the spring final, so do stay tuned to announcements. And here coming into the score screen, we'll see in terms of the overall kills though, you'll see a close game because overall CC damage output coming from the champions chosen by Secret was very strong. But when it came to the objectives as well as control the map and pressure coming up, they just couldn't keep up together with against Kuala Hunters.
LH just showing their experience, and it paid dividend. So they pressed every advantage they could have. They got their hands on, and they just ended the game really quickly.
So this was a great last game for KLH against Team Secret, and overall you can see from the goal difference, from the kills coming up, as well as the objectives being taken, we will see the highest gold gain for the side of KLH will be Vayne with 12.9k gold, and on the side of Team Secret is going to be just 9.4k gold onto Caitlyn, because they couldn't take down any towers as well as couldn't take the Barons or Dragons away from Kuala Hunters. So it's going to be a slight, I would say, saddening for the side of Secret because they didn't get to get the revenge.
Yep.
But overall, though, they did perform much better from, I would have to say, the Carnival Show match, and they're still showing that they are a strong team, and the matches to come for the spring finals is going to be exciting.
So we have our top 4 teams in Malaysia right now. Secret, Kuala Lumpur Hunters, Paradox Gaming, and last but not least, Broski.
Yes.
And for the other games,
For Team
NT
FA against NCL, so NCL actually won the game. So we don't have a full update about it. Sorry, so don't have a full update on the score yet.
Yep.
So, but we just know that it's for that bracket, not the first, for that bracket or for that game, so to speak. We will see Team Forever Alone escapes this group with 0 wins. I mean, they had great performance, especially from Daisuke in the mid, and also throughout, I have to say. And so for the third placing, it goes to Team Nothing to Lose. Second place to Team Secret. And last but not least, the first place, we have Kuala Lumpur Hunters.
This is the pre-updated one, guys. You can see it's Team Secret did actually lose to KLH, as we just saw. 3 wins for Team KLH, 2 wins for Secret, and 1 win for Nothing to Lose.
Yes. So this is just an update of the previous game, just to let you guys have a closer look to how overall performance for both teams. And so we will update you guys on MVP and things like that on the forums, and also announcements that will be done by Pseudo, I believe.
Yep.
Not gonna have to.
And
give you-
I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, that was the last code. So congratulations to everyone that actually got the code.
Yes.
You
And
deserve
thank-
it because you typed really quickly.
Type really quickly. Oh, it's actually one last
there's
one.
one
that's
last
about to-
code,
yeah.
guys, as our producer is telling us. So
Yes.
just bear with us really quickly. Just try to get the code. And wow, right there.
It's gonna cover my
wait,
face.
It's gonna go under it.
You're
Yep,
gonna-
that's the code. Go
So
to
it's
the
gonna
shop
be
quickly.
F9VX43YGXTKNYYQ6UC7P. So this will be the last code for
And now
today.
it's above our head. Yep, right here.
Better position.
I'm not gonna block it later. Somebody complains. But yeah, as Teddy said, this will be the last code of the day. And with that, I think it's a good way to end our day.
Yes. Do you have any last words about Singe and 000?
It's just
sorry, I'm gonna forever
let's
make
just
a joke
give you a
about that.
shout out to
Like,
F.
when I see Cake Factory in rank, if it takes Singe, I'm like, are you going 000? You know, if I ever see him. I didn't meet him before in rank a few times, but not as much currently. But I'm just gonna throw him with that. It's
Yeah.
gonna forever engraved in my memory.
Let's just give a quick shout out to Cake Factory here.
The
Whenever
best
you played a game, be it normal or rank, check your runes, dude.
Not just to Cake Factory. Every his runes were correct, but check your masteries. The masteries
yeah,
are
masteries.
important as well. You know, you can get the wrong rune set. Okay, you'll be fine. Unless you're AD carry, you're gonna screw up your early game. For other roles though, it's still fine because for yellows it's most probably flat armor for everything,
Yeah.
and magic is ability power, which will work out well for most champions up top. But still your masteries.
So yeah, so
Okay,
I
so
just can't get it to my mind. He went
Okay, we shall
0-0.
just stop joking about Cake Factory. So overall, we had great games played today, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys are able to read this last code.
I think that was the same one. I hope
yes.
you guys actually liked our casting today. If you did enjoy it, just leave a like on the video, subscribe for
So
more.
if you reach 100 likes, maybe he'll create a Facebook fan page.
I won't ever create a Facebook fan page. Okay, maybe if we do reach 100 likes, I would get a Facebook fan page. Maybe.
Okay, we
But I
shall
don't
see.
think anyone wants to like my Facebook fan page.
We will have you can always try, and then you find out. You never know. Anyway, coming back to this, there is it for the Spring Season Finals 2013, the Group Stage B, and it has ended. So stay tuned for the Spring Finals coming on June 15th. Just a reminder for all of you guys out there, it will be an offline event. So that is all for today.
You can meet all your favorite players at FTZ during the Spring Season Finals. Be sure to be there. I think I'll be there, obviously. So you can just
Yes.
come up, hey,
Or you
camouflage.
Okay, or you might be here with me casting.
I don't think I'll be here if you
He doesn't want to accept the job. Anyway, so that's it for today. I'm Ted Tibus.
Camouflage, and we'll
see you next time. I forgot to teach the producer how to do editing. Sorry. It
Anyway,
escaped my mind.
so
Okay, so I'm going to mute our mics and then so I can shout out to him.
So I know you can still hear me, guys. We're actually really short on hand, so try and get us some hard times, going through some hard times. But I actually really hope that you liked our cast and our whole production today. And that's about it. Bye.
My name is Chow Golden Man. and my role is mid lane.
My name is Vincent Red Sun Lu, and I play as a support in the team.
My name is Wilson Tater Shin. I'm playing for the top lane.
My name is Lance Valence Chan. I'm playing support in my team.
My name is David SSS Soon. I play jungler.
My favorite champion is Nidali because of her hyper.
My favorite champion is Udyr because he has various type of playstyle.
My favorite champion is Renaton because he is very tanky.
My favorite champion is Caitlyn because she has the long range, she can harass people.
My favorite champion is Nunu because his laugh is ha 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 ha.
I feel so good when we won the KTH Central region.
I feel very proud of myself for winning KOTS because it meant a lot to me.
I'm not really satisfied because I think we can do a lot better.
I think the biggest competition for us is Team Secret.
Team Secret because they team for quite a long and I believe their teamwork is good.
Team Secret because they are fantastic.
Team Broski because they have the best synergy at bottom lane, that is Jeong and Hakane.
The biggest competitor will be ourselves because if we do well, we will win.
I think we will grab the higher chances for winning the Spring Season Final 2013.
I think if we perform well, we sure will secure the win.
I think we should have no problem winning the competition unless we make any serious mistake.
And I would like to thank my parents, friends and teammates because they are my motivation.
I would like to thank my family, my teammates and friends for being so supportive.
I would like to shout out to Jessica, Weng Weng and Kajun for their support.
I would like to thank my family, my teammates and my friends for being so supportive because it drives me to be better and it meant a lot to me. I appreciate it. Thanks.